My relationship with my credit cards wasn't good. I got into debt in college. How much I paid. All right, what's going on, everybody? Joe on here with you. It's a Monday night, about 7:40 p.m. Eastern for me. I got Alec Nava here with me on this side. We're going to go ahead and get to the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins. It seems like on ESPN Plus they carry the same feeds on MLB TV on that side, so that's what I got. I have the Twins feed. If we need to recalibrate, we'll do all that. Let me give you the starting lineups first in particular. So for the Seattle Mariners, who just got above 500 again, they're 50 and 49. It's J.P. Crawford playing short, Julio Rodriguez in center field, Eugenio Suarez at third, Teoscar Hernandez is batting cleanup. He's in right field. Mike Ford's the DH today. He's batting fifth. Ty France sixth, playing first base. Tom Murphy, the catcher, batting seventh, with Dylan Moore playing second, and Cade Marlowe, the prospect at 26 years of age, will be in left field, batting left mid, playing at ninth. And then for the Minnesota Twins, it'll be Carlos Correa leading off, shortstop. Edouard Julien, he's been a fantastic 24-year-old rookie. He's a second baseman. Eric Kirilloff will play first base and bat third. Max Kepler will clean up in right field. Matt Wallner will be the DH, batting fifth. Willie Castro, former Tiger, will play third base. He's a switch bat. Trevor Larnach in left field, batting left. And Christian Vasquez and Joey Gallo will round out the lineup. Catching is Vasquez, playing center field is Joey Gallo. Alec, how are you doing, my friend? I'm excited to cover a baseball game with you.
Hey, Alec. I'm good to have you here, Johnson. Been getting some baseball broadcasts as of late. Well, since 8 days ago when the Astros and Angels had that one thriller. 9-8 was the final score of that game, and I'm excited to cover games like these with you, Johnson. Getting ready to see what this holds here. The Twins coming off a sweep of the White Sox and the Mariners taking 2-3 from the Blue Jays. In fact, this is the fifth game in a 10-day span in which they're playing against each other. They split the series previously 2-2 each.
Yeah, for me, I know it's on the sideline for the Tigers, but I'm kind of interested in this because I need Seattle to win a few of these games here. And for Minnesota, what are they 8-2 in their last 10? It's Kenta Maeda and Luis Castillo. And if Maeda is pitching the last couple of ways that he did on that side, and you know what Castillo can bring, we could get a pitching duel matchup today.
We could, in that sense. And to say the least, records don't really mean that much. Even though Maeda has a 2-5 record, he's still pitching at a 10.6 strikeouts per 9 innings rate.
Yeah, he's a crafty veteran out of Osaka, Japan. I know a couple of years ago he missed, so he got first pitch underway here. It's a fastball, perfect one in the bottom left corner, about 91. That's probably where he's going to top out. So J.P. Crawford, we know he kind of plays everywhere here for Seattle. If you believe in the wins above replacement stat, he's at 3, which leads the team. You can bat from 1 to 9. You can play shortstop, second base. It's a 1-1 pitch upcoming.
Yes, because as you go around through the lineup, J.P. Crawford, yet he's one of those who can go up and down the lineup realistically when you look at this, because 3.0 wins above replacement.
Yeah, he's been counted on by Scott Servais to do a little bit of everything. That's a gorgeous curveball there. And that is now 1-2 as Maeda's out in front. Crawford hitting 258. He's about 25 points above his average, and he serves it right in the middle of third base. And he's going to get a base hit. And Seattle has got the first base runner here.
Just timed that one perfectly. He was waiting for that right pitch from Maeda, and yep, it came there. The left-handed batter, and going that one right between third and second base, away from everyone until it reached the outfield.
So this is going to bring up an exciting player in Julio Rodriguez, but admittedly, his numbers are down. Again, Maeda gets a friendly call that was bunched inside up top, but it's 0-1 against Julio Rodriguez. He was about a 280 batter last year. Now he's 244. Still got 14 bombs and 51 RBI, but he's got speed for days as well.
That speed is ever so important whenever you're trying to steal a base. So whenever he gets a run going, he can be dangerous when trying to get some runs over.
No doubt about it. It's a 1-1 count now against Rodriguez as the curveball missed way out of the zone. And Maeda is going to get the side ready and get everything set up here. Looking for this 1-1 pitch and a change up, busts him up inside, and Julio spits on it. He's got the hitter's advantage of 2-1.
That almost hit him there.
And the mix in between the splitter, slider, four-seam, sinker, and curve. That's what Maeda is featuring, and that's what he featured against Seattle when they just played it. As Alex said, they split the series. This is a 3-gamer and a changeup up top. And now Julio Rodriguez, if you want to, you can unleash him at 3-1.
Yep. And we're seeing here J.P. Crawford going right outside the first baseman for Minnesota. He's right there, trying to see if he can catch him off guard. Oh, here we go.
This is a double play opportunity, but Julio Rodriguez, they say that they got him just off the last of a step. That was a good feed from Castro and Correa. Just got Rodriguez by a hair.
Just right at the 11th hour. Just beat him up. Yep, left foot on first base. That is, got him.
That's a sweet turn there, Alec, on that side. You had to be quick there with Rodriguez, and good on Maeda. There was a little trouble early, even with a power hitter like Suarez. His average isn't high, but to keep the traffic off the base paths. And Willie Castro getting that spot start. He looked pretty good at third.
Whoa, this can be interesting.
Eugenio with a deep drive to left field. They're going to play it right off the wall. And do they have him caught up? No, he's going to get back to first. So long single from the power swing for Suarez.
He was looking for that double, but decided against it as that ball was going right off the wall. He was thinking home run the entire way, but just not enough hang time on that ball to go over the wall. But still, good eye there from him.
And I like that too for Trevor Larnach. He played that nicely off the wall. Again, Byron Buxton, he's out on paternity leave apparently, and there was actually, I heard on the Twins side, there was a little bit of a pink eye outbreak, if you can believe that. So they're missing a couple Twins bats on that side, but Buxton will not be available. So that was a good play by Larnach. And on the other side, it's now 0-2 against the former Toronto Blue Jay, Teoscar Hernandez.
As they're missing several players, the Twins on their rosters, several of them on the short-term IL and others and one other, Nick Gordon, on the 60-day IL. So as we get a swing and a miss to round out the first, at the top of the first, Nick Gordon on the 60-day IL, and Jorge Polanco, Royce Lewis, and Jose Miranda on the short-term IL. That means 7, 10, or 15-day IL.
And when you think about some of those names that you mentioned, again, I just go over in between. Royce Lewis, he's got potential and got some speed, but Jorge Polanco is that switch bat that that the Twins can certainly go after and provide some thunder with. So you get a couple of those pieces back. Look, the Twins have played pretty well of late, 8-2 in the last 10. Now they're 53-48. And as you know, right now on that side, it doesn't take much to be able to go ahead in the AL Central and do that damage.
Especially since they're 3 games ahead of the Cleveland Guardians for the division lead, so that helps their case.
Absolutely on that side. And we're going to go ahead when we get in some of these commercial breaks, and I'm going to go ahead and check some of these YouTube comments, but we'll let you know about the upcoming matchups and get all that stuff together. But we're going to switch off inning to inning. So when they get into the second inning, Alex is going to take the play-by-play, and then we'll reverse it here from inning to inning to keep the 2-man broadcast booth alive. I'm just happy to have Alec here with me on this side. And if there is an instance where I do have to go answer a phone call, it'll be very quickly. We're going to be doing this game and covering the thing in its entirety. I should be back tomorrow as well, early games in the week for the next 2 weeks. But tomorrow I think is going to be Texas and the Houston Astros. I know we're going to get some weather here in Michigan, so might not have internet access on Wednesday. So we're going to get everything together now.
Good to have you here on alongside our first cast together in baseball together. That makes it nice.
Yes, it is. And it will be the first of many on that side. I know I try to catch baseball on the back end, got through of all the other particulars to take care of. I know you've been mixing in between some Canadian football, some baseball, a little bit of everything. Alec's always working hard. And when we get back into the NHL season, I know there's going to be a lot of fireworks on that end, and we'll definitely get a lot of those games in as well.
Yeah, looking forward to opening night with you covering the Vegas Golden Knights banner night. Yeah, I'll have things covered with Connor Bedard's debut between the Blackhawks and Penguins.
Yeah, that is going to be a lot of fun. So Carlos Correa against Luis Castillo. And the only game I did so far was the opening day one with Cooper Hopkins on that side when it was Castillo and Bieber. And Castillo won a solid scoreless 6. We know Castillo is a strikeout pitcher. And here's the thing, who leads Major League Baseball in strikeouts? It happens to be the Twins. So it's 2-0, and Correa will slam it in a diving play by J.P. Crawford.
Oh, that looked like one of those catches that you will see. Well, this is very rare that you see this happening. Those diving catches, just as rare as it is in the NFL, is almost as rare in the MLB. Wow, what a catch that was.
Again, I know it's early in this contest. We talk about the wins above replacement for JP. You might talk about that, about a 250, 260 batting average for JP, but playing everywhere, having that versatility. You flash that defense there, I got to imagine that makes Scott Servais and company very happy. So Edouard Julien is going to fall off a splitter down the bottom of the zone. He's quickly down 0-2.
Yes, that quick there for Edouard Julien, getting a strike looking and then fouling one to right field. He wants to turn things.
Oh, that is a good hit into right field, and Teoscar will catch this one on a hop just before it fell to the ground. 2 outs.
A good seeing eye ball in which Hernandez was aware that was going right towards him. This one was hanging low right in the air instead of hanging high as normal, as how most outs would be in the MLB. This one was a low ball.
So Edouard Julien now, again, as he just out, it was about a 310 average for him for the rookie, 24 years of age, 9 bombs, 16 RBI, 21 walks. Alex Kirilloff, fresh off the AL Player of the Week, is batting third, and he was jammed inside with a fastball. And that is a very efficient inning for Luis Castillo, 7 pitches and 3 outs.
Luis Castillo going to be a strikeout machine, as you noted, Bo. Even though he didn't have a strikeout in here, he did get the batters to swing 3 straight outs, including that diving catch and 2 air balls right to deep field. This one from center fielder Julio Rodriguez.
So as we talked about, we're going to switch over on this side, and we're going to continue to alternate. And this is the pace, Alex, so far that I kind of expected in between these two. I wouldn't mind to get a nice, quick little broadcast to save all of our voices, but it's nice on the back end of it, especially now covering baseball games as you've been over the last week. You know, we're in the second half portion now of the season, and we are likely, 7 days away from the trade deadline. So I would expect a lot of moves from some contending teams.
And the big story about it, the MLB trade deadline, is where will Shohei Ohtani land? Or will he stay with the Angels? That has taken up much of the stories here in the MLB. If he's going to stay with the Angels, or if he's going to get moved, and then where is he going to sign in free agency subsequently? Because I expect that he could get the largest contract in North American professional sports history.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I do want to throw something your way. You might completely disagree with me on it, but I just want to ask anyway. Do you think there's any possibility that Shohei could be a rental for a team before he signs long term, or do you think whoever acquires him at the deadline is looking to lock him up right away?
I'm not ruling out the possibility of him being a rental, but I feel that if someone is going to land him, they want to do everything to keep him.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if it means clearing away some of their other players.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Go ahead and take it away here in the second.
So as we start off with the second inning, it's Maeda with the first pitch. He throws one to the right of the zone, line 4. .264 batting average, 11 home runs, 23 RBI on the season. Second pitch, identical to the first one, to the right of the strike zone, and like that, it's a 2-0 count. The first one a curveball and the second on a slider.
So Mike Ford, 257, 10 bombs, 21 RBIs. Got a lot of speed. He can also mix in a catcher, too, in some of the outfield. We'll see how Maeda handles him.
And as you say that, with how Maeda's been handling it, there's a strike looking on that slider. So 2 straight sliders, 88 followed by 78. Oh, a swing and a miss on this one, on that splitter. As Ford was looking to get that one off in a hurry.
Ford's probably a little bit frustrated because the first 4 pitches here from Maeda against him in his first at-bat have all been off-speed pitches. They got him way out in front.
He was just an inch off with that last swing, and, well, he was staring at that ball, didn't swing as it was going right inside on that slider.
He made that look a little too easy there, Alec, the crafty veteran Kenta Maeda. Again, the pitching staff for the Minnesota Twins over the stretch, they're second in every single stat, first in whip on that end. So if they can lock in some of their offense here, the pitching already looks good for the Twins this year.
He has looked better ever since he came off the IL.
Mm-hmm.
And this first pitch on Ty France is a strike looking on that slider at 80 miles an hour. And the second one, as it swung on out up high right into the air, which is spotted, and calling for it is the third baseman for the Twins here, Castro, excuse me.
Willie Castro makes that catch, and it was popped up right in on the hands. So good placement there from both of these pitchers so far. And Maeda's pitch count looks pretty good so far between 1 2/3 at 21 pitches.
It might feel like one of those games where we may have a pitcher's duel, as I've seen previously with the Padres and Blue Jays on the 19th. So this first one is a strike on Murphy.
Yeah, and as we talked about, the Twins #1 in strikeouts. You don't want to lead that, but Mariners #3. So we'll see what happens.
As we're looking at what happens here, Maeda throws a low ball on that splitter.
So both of these teams played yesterday. Tom Murphy is going to get the start today, and Cal Raleigh is going to get the day off at catcher.
As we all remember about Cal Raleigh's home run to send the Mariners to the playoffs for the first time since 2001, as Ty France gets a double and his rule save.
So that was Tom Murphy on that side. It bounced off the right side of the first base wall toward the line, and it allowed to play off the carom. Kepler tried to rifle it, but Murphy hustled his way out of the box, and it was a splitter down and out of the zone, and he just stayed with that beautifully down the first base line. That's gorgeous there, Alec.
And thanks for the correction. It was Murphy, because Ty France, he was out on that one, so it's 2 outs for the Mariners, but Murphy at second base on that double and then rolled safe. That was a great run. That was close to a foul ball as it could be.
Yeah. And Dylan Moore is only batting $135. I guess he improved from 111 when I marked the notes yesterday.
Well, 135, certainly not the batting average that a player would want, but then again, Max Muncy, who has a batting average of under 200,
yes,
he's making up for that with his home runs.
Yeah, when he hit that grand slam the other day to lead it for Dodgers, but Texas came back and scored 8 runs.
Oh, what is there to not love about this year's Texas Rangers team?
That team is absolutely loaded, Alec. You would think about a team, again, anyone wants Ohtani, but throw him in the mix because they need pitching. My goodness.
Would be an even more dangerous team if they were to land Ohtani after they got Jacob deGrom in the offseason.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They need to replace Jacob deGrom, who's been on the injured list. It's 3-1 now against Moore, and Marlowe is waiting on deck.
Full count now as Moore fought out swinging it, but he may want to have second thoughts about that one because that was right down the strike zone.
Yeah, it was one of the few pitches that Maeda's kind of just let them have. He just decided not to take it. Probably been frozen by too many splitters.
And Maeda decides not to throw to second base and throws this one right down the middle for the out.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at major league hitters right there, but Maeda making them look silly. You had a runner on second. Marlowe's going to have to wait a half an inning because I just don't know how you don't swing at that, my friend.
I don't get it there because when you're looking at a fastball and you have a golden opportunity to swing, it's right there,
Yeah.
right in the strike zone. You have to swing that.
You have to. But again, it's one of those situations that we talked about in the open between these two teams. If you're looking at a prospect of why both teams strike out so much, well, you can't just look at pitches that are right down the middle. So we'll see if the Twins now can go ahead and take the lead in the bottom of the second. But as we talked about, it's been a brisk pace so far, and I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, especially since as I got treated to a pitcher's duel one of these previous games between the Padres and Blue Jays between Yu Darvish and Jose Berrios. That was a 2-0 win for San Diego, by the way, but Berrios was excellent in his home runs.
That's good to see because for Barrios, they need him because Alec Manoah has kind of been hit and miss. I know I'm being kind when I say that, but he's certainly not the pitcher he was last year.
Because I don't know what's going on with him. Would it be some sort of elements? But it's not been a good year for him, considering the year he had last year.
No, because right now it's going to be Barrios and pretty much Gosman, and they're expecting Manoah to be one of those top-end pitchers because he was last year. And if he can do that, honestly, we already know about how good their offense is.
Yeah, for sure, especially when they have George Springer, Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, and Brandon Belt lead the charge there, and Matt Chapman.
So I'm looking a little bit on the Twins feed, and they're showing some Max Kepler bombs from his AL Player of the Week.
And he unleashes a bomb there, but it goes straight down to center field where Rodriguez was waiting.
So how about this, Alec? 9 pitches and 4 outs for Luis Castillo.
He has been having himself a nice run on a Mariners team that is looking to get back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're still in it, but they have to catch up with the Blue Jays.
You got to do that in the wild card, and even in the division, you got the Astros and the Rangers, so we know that's not easy.
Never easy when you have 2 playoff caliber teams in your same division, including an up-and-coming Rangers team who I think they can realistically make the World Series.
You know what, Alec? I know the pitching might push me aside a little bit, but I'm not going to disagree with you at all. I'm right there.
So, there are many options to choose from the NL. The Astros or Rangers may first come to mind. And the AL, I mean, for the NL, there's the Dodgers, the Braves. Well, I forgot to mention the Rays in the AL.
Yeah.
A fastball, 97, and he caught him out.
And he just blew Wallner right away. He was not ready for that 97. He bunched him all up. Nothing he could do there.
It just went off the bat. This might have went off the tip of the bat. Could have easily been a foul ball.
No, I think you're right. He got a piece of it just off the tip of the bat, but it went right in the glove anyway of Murphy. So 2 up, 2 down quickly.
And just like that, the Twins down to their final out of the inning here, and Luis Castillo thrown 14 fastballs and 34 pitches back on July 19th. This one grounded over straight to Castillo, and that'll do it for the second inning.
That's as easy breezy as you like there for both of these pitchers so far. Again, Seattle does have 3 hits on the score Chiron, but we're scoreless going into the third here.
That just makes the first baseman's job all that more easy.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun so far. And again, in between Maeda and Castillo, we can be honest and say that Maeda, a little bit, he doesn't have the 100-mile-an-hour fastball pitching effectively to contact, but Castillo, you know what? Honestly, he's doing the same thing. Nobody can find the baseball right now to be able to get a clean hit on it.
It's basically Darvish versus Berrios all over again by this point.
It certainly feels that way. I want to go ahead on this side. I'm going to make sure I pull up this part of the box. I want to look at some of the standings or some of the upcoming games, and we'll keep you updated as far as any of the scores that we see come across. So we do know one game is final, so I can be at least a little bit happy. This has been a makeup day from, I believe, May on that side when one of the games were rained out against the Giants. Tigers do win 5-1. They get 12 hits on that side. I've been watching Alec over the last few days. I know it helps on the MLB TV, but I'm watching the Orioles and I'm watching the Rays. They just played a series against each other now, and the Orioles are in first place. The Rays are still really good as far as where they are, but as far as the All-Star break, it's not been kind to Tampa. They've been starting to drop a few games here and there.
Now it's in a position over the AL East where it's basically the Orioles and Rays neck and neck for the AL East division lead. And this may come down to the last few days, given this current pace on who takes the division. It's still the Rays division. That's the defending champions of that division. But the Orioles, they're making a push in what has been the most competitive division in the MLB.
Yeah, if you want to talk about as bad as the AL Central is, and nobody knows that better than I do, you could take any of the teams in the AL East and they'd be in first place in the AL Central.
I mean, that's the whole grand scheme of things when you look at this, because every AL East team has at least 50 wins. Minnesota, the AL Central, yeesh.
Yeah, it's been rough. So Marlowe has to check swing foul, and this will be picked up here, and we will start it again. Again, on the Twins feed, they're showing, what was it, TJ Hawkinson, former Lion, throwing out the first pitch, and he almost threw it into left field.
Oh, TJ. He's a treasure, man.
Splitter down in the zone here against Marlowe before we flip the lineup back over here for the Seattle Mariners. Again, they're 50-49. They're able to split a series against the Blue Jays. I think they lost 2 out of 3. They did lose on the other day. And then the Twins, they won in the 12th inning against the White Sox, swept them. So Marlowe, how about that? He gets, I believe, his first hit in Major League Baseball. He went hitless against the Twins when he first made his debut last week on that side. So it's going to turn the lineup back over to J.P. Crawford.
Oh, it was about time that he gets his first career hits. Remember, Taylor Colby had his first career MLB hit with the Padres against the Blue Jays. And now it's Marlowe of his first career hit. So congratulations, young man. He's earned this.
Yeah, the 26-year-old, you got to fight to get up here. I know the one thing I'll say it quickly because we're in the middle of the game action, but the way baseball is, you need the 5 years of service time before you get paid. A lot of these teams will throw you down there to make sure they can keep, I know there's no cap, but keep the costs low. So when you do fight to get up there, you got to make sure you keep teeth and claw and stay up here because you never know when you get sent back down. Get your first hit, that's big.
It is big for him as Maeda was trying to catch him off guard, but he got saves. I apologize if I do some play-by-play from you in this version.
No, it'll be fun. We can bounce it back and forth. I'm having a good time with this. J.P. Crawford, he will spit on a splitter that goes down to the zone, and it's 1-0. So Crawford had the first hit to open. He's already had a great diving catch. He gets a couple more. He's going to have himself a grand old ball game here, but the Mariners trying to get the first run of the ball game. 1-0 count. And that is a gorgeous split that caught the bottom of the box on the left side of the knees.
Yep, just right down through the bottom left corner. Perfect placement from Maeda.
So Marlowe going to go ahead and take a short, cautious lead in Maeda. And he swung right through the splitter there, did Crawford at 84. It's 1-2.
It was right below the edge of the strike zone. Crawford was going for that one. But, well, there's the result.
Yeah, you're going for the downs against Maeda. He can make you look silly. As this is another pitch that was just for the bottom part of the right box. Same result in the splitter, but Crawford will let it go by. 2-2 now.
A recurring theme from this sequence is that Maeda's been throwing all splitters here. So 4 straight. Whoa. Marlowe got back there.
Throw back over there from Maeda, and Marlowe back in time as this is checking on again. So I believe that is the second disengagement. So if this is the third now, according to the new rules, you have to get him or he's going to go to second base. He takes off. He was able to stay on the bag. Maria couldn't catch it off the back tap, so a swing and a miss against Crawford. He's out, but Marlowe, he knew that Maeda couldn't throw over again. He stole the base. Good work there by the young man.
Oh, I love what this young man is bringing. And second baseman for Minnesota, that was Carlos Correa. Couldn't hang on to that one, and Marlowe knew that right away. Managed to get his foot on second base. Great awareness. Love what I'm seeing in this kid.
Julio Rodriguez, same thing. Maeda is just pretty much featuring the splitter. Now Rodriguez got to be patient. He gets something in the zone here. He likes that upright corner. He can definitely launch bombs. He about 42 in the home run derby in a single round.
That is impressive there.
He's bunched up. And there is no other play other than first, so that's going to move Marlowe to third for 2 outs.
Yeah. Still, as I said earlier, about making the first baseman's job easier. Well, he did it there, but Marlowe's over at third base now, so the Mariners, you're like, what do you do here?
So if you're Eugenio Suarez here, Alec, I'll definitely say you can't swing out of your shoes and thinking about just missing a home run. You got a long single. You get anything like that, that's going to score a run. And immediately outside with the slider was Maeda, and Suarez was not even tempted.
Wasn't even thinking about swinging that one bit because it was going over to his right. Just like that, this next pitch here, as it was a low ball going over to his right.
Yeah, interesting sequence so far. First 2 pitches, not even close. Suarez about 275 with runner in scoring position, not all that bad. 5 bombs, 45 RBI. He's waiting on the 2-0 pitch now. And Maeda will step off and think about it at first. Again, he's going to use one of his disengagements. You get 2 of those per batter. So still waiting on the 2-0. Suarez now 14 bombs, 58 RBI for the season at 227. 2-0 pitch. And he popped this one up into center field. Kepler is going to take it on the right field side, and the Mariners are turned away with Marlowe stranded at third. We go to the bottom of the third. Mariners got 4 hits, but no score just yet.
A good fly ball there as he was looking to get things going. Well, unfortunately, some of these fly balls need to go a little further. You need to have a little more juice on those and trying to get some home runs going, but then again, we remain scoreless. But Marlowe, congratulations once again.
Yeah, with the first hit on that side, that was definitely big. And I don't really want to make a joke here because I know they say the ball will fly more depending on the heat. Well, in Minneapolis today, I want to make sure I check the weather before I do these games because I don't want to get stuck in a long rain delay. So I always try to do that. It's 100 degrees in Minneapolis today. So the western heat and everything else, that's getting hot. And in Vegas and Texas, about $115. So it's getting dangerously warm outside.
So stay safe over in the middle of these heat waves, no matter where you are. Because I'm hearing about these temperatures, it can cause some closer stadiums to closer roofs for the duration of the game, which is basically for the best when they want to account into player safety, if they want to emphasize that. So, yep.
So is there any teams in particular? I know we talked about Tampa Bay, Texas, Houston. Who do you like as far as maybe not even a World Series team? You don't have to go that far, but who do you think's a good playoff lock that's going to do some damage?
So if we're going to talk about teams outside of Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Tampa, the Dodgers are basically that one team that they do good in the regular season, but the overthinking in the playoffs may cost them.
Yeah.
They did win a World Series, but against the Padres last year, woof. But they bounced back this time around. But I'm intrigued by the Diamondbacks this year. They've been coming up in a big way.
Corbin Carroll is a beast. He was last year. He's starting to emerge as one of the top young players in this league. You better keep an eye out on him.
For sure. Because I remember it was that 16-13 thriller that the Diamondbacks won over the Braves, who established themselves as the best team in the MLB this season.
So Trevor Larnach, it's going to be 7-8-9. He's just recalled from AAA in about 211 on that side. He's going to foul this one off. And Castillo is going to try to get his first out in the third at his 18th pitch, if you can believe that. Yes, I'm not lying to you on this side. Again, he's always rocking the dreads. He's featuring that fastball. Castillo can be absolutely nasty. And this is a slider that was intentionally wide, but Larnach knew better than to swing at that one.
He knew that those ones were not going to be right near the strike zone. Larnach, 2 straight times we saw those balls going wide. 2 straight times we did not swing it.
So about 8 seconds left to go on the pitch clock. We'll let you know if anything gets close to the violations. And that's a slider that ate him up for lunch. And he punches out.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How about this? It was going right outside the strike. He was looking to get that one. He was looking for the big one there.
So there's going to be a couple batters in the bottom of this lineup here, Alec, that'll probably look to do the same thing. Christian Vasquez didn't have such a great year when coming over on the trade to Houston. Now he's in Minnesota, but you got Vasquez and Gallo in the bottom of that order as well. I'm imagining a lot of punch-outs.
Christian Vasquez, .215 batting average. If you're looking about punch-outs, that also includes Joey Gallo, who's rounding out this lineup, and Vasquez coming in to this game with a .215 batting average, 21 runs, 43 base hits, 19 RBI, 2 home runs.
And the slider, he was way out in front of him, obviously expecting the 98. It's tough to go from 98 to 88 and mix in there in between. And this is a 1-2, and another off-speed pitch. He caught him swinging way out in front, and 2 punch-outs for Castillo. I think he might strike out the side here with Gallo upcoming.
And 2 straight sliders right down to them. Those 2 pitches looked identical, and he caught them right there, right on the spot, swinging.
You know what we love about some of the slow replays that we got, especially nowadays? You can catch that seam on that baseball, those RPMs that they always talk about. That thing was spinning for days. So Gallo, they want to throw a positive stat out here for the Twins, a 57% hard hit rate. So if Gallo makes contact, it goes a long way. That's just if he makes contact. And the splitter inside is 1-0.
Gallo, one of those batters who has a batting average below 200, but makes up for that with his home runs and RBIs. Like Max Muncy, as I mentioned earlier, with the Dodgers. Gallo's one of those guys. Not an ideal batting average, but he makes up for that really good.
Yeah, he got 17 bombs and 31 RBI. Again, let's talk about another hitter that's particular like that. I always thought about Adam Dunn on the White Sox, but Kyle Schwarber for the Phillies. He bats about 200, but he's got about 26 home runs.
And Kyle Schwarber as well with that Phillies team that made it to the World Series. And
yeah, there's a lot of bats there. I was thinking about the all-time rental there would be Ohtani in Philadelphia on that, and if that happened. It's 2-2, and this is a good contact for Gallo, but it's going to be an easy throw from Crawford to Ty France, and we are through 3 scoreless.
Yep, it went right to him, rolling right through the ground, and there's a minimal chance where that ball stays in the infield, a very minimal chance that it goes for base hits. And this is one of those majority chances where it does not.
It's a victory for Joey Gallo. He made contact with a baseball. So it's going to take you up to the 4th inning now. And again, this has been about as easy breezy as you like. Again, in the mix of the opening day, it was the last time I even covered a baseball game. Alec's been working hard over the last couple of weeks to a little bit of everything, but it was Seattle and Cleveland in the opening day opener for me, and now Seattle and Minnesota in the sense of it. So it's second time I get a chance to look at Castillo. That's kind of pretty much what I expected. On the side for the Minnesota Twins, Alex made a great point on the side for Kenta Maeda. He's been really good since coming off of the injury. Again, he missed all of last season a couple of years ago, but he has been the top of the rotation guy that you expect. He's played a lot in between the Dodgers and now the Minnesota Twins now for 3 seasons. And let's face it, if you're going to talk about a team that needs a win more, I understand the AL Central is about as bad as we talked about, but Seattle Mariners, they got to find a way to put some runs on the board here.
They have to, considering that they have all the hits here in this game, but it's been basically all them. But the defenses they've been showing out throughout.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just project this in the sense of from what we saw Seattle last year, especially in that playoff game, that epic comeback that they had against the Blue Jays and some of those things. You know, it was nice to see last year, but these numbers for Seattle, as far as their batting average, home runs, runs scored, everything else, are way, way down. And the numbers for the Astros are about the same. Texas is way up. They had about 5 starters in the All-Star game. So, as we said, we got to score some runs, see if they can do it against Maeda here in the top of the 4th.
But they're looking to do that because considering Seattle's hit numbers, it's down, as you pointed out. And the Astros, they're relatively the same, basically unchanged ever since their first World Series asterisk.
Yeah. You think about it, too. You went from Jeremy Pena, who had a breakout year last year. Now you got Mauricio Dubon. And they just continue to find players that dominate.
And not to mention that they keep developing some young players over there. They're like Chas McCormick, Corey Jokes, and now they're everyday contributors now. Not to mention Jose Abreu.
Yeah, that was a really great signing. Imagine you just go right over there and you get a DH and a first baseman. That's a slam dunk.
Yep. So, we're at the top of the 4th inning right now, so 2-2 count with Maeda at the mound right now. So the ball thrown by foul ball, then another ball, then a swing and a miss to round this one out. Spin splitters and sliders after that fastball. So waiting on this 2-2 pitch here, and he got saved by the foul ball left.
Well, it's good for Hernandez just to get a piece on that one because the pitch prior, he could have swung 3 times and he never would have found that splitter.
If it was going low on that, too, on that splitter, 84 miles an hour. For some reason, my charger doesn't want to charge my phone, but now this is aired on out to right field, and yep, this is easily caught there by the right fielder for Minnesota, Max Kepler.
So Maeda is consistently pinpointing that bottom of the strike zone there, Alec. It's been nothing but off-speed pitches as we've documented. But when you're pinpoint, it's up to the batters there to try to find a piece of the baseball. But the way Maeda's throwing it, I don't care about pitch count right now. It looks like he's going to be able to give you at least a solid 6.
Yeah, 50 pitches already but then it comes to 51st, which is a ball instantly on 4. So it's a 1-0 count. So he's 0 for 1 for strikeout in the second. Then again, it's been a pitcher's game thus far. 2-0 now.
Well, we know what Maeda's pitch is. It's the splitter, and he's featuring that to everybody. It's going to be death by splitter, and if you can't hit it, well, that's on you.
Oh, this one hopped right up into the air and just landing right on the hands of Vasquez. Catcher was well aware of that one.
That was one of the rare locations, Alec, where he threw that same pitch, but he threw it up high, and Ford was way out in front of it.
Up front of that one, yep. As it grazed up the bat, yep. Up right into the air. One of those rare times in which the catcher catches the guy out at bat. So up next is Ty France. Immediately, this one's to the right of the strike zone on that sinker.
So Ty France is 1 year, $4.1 million. He will be a free agent at the end of the year. His power number is a little bit down, but he can still make good contact with the baseball.
And that's speaking of contact with the baseball, well, we have yet to see that contact with the baseball as he swung and missed on that slider. So 1-1 count. The pitch is on, up high into the air, and there's the contact as it's mentioned. And it's been everything about the pitchers tonight. Another out. It's been the theme of this game.
That was a lazy fly ball there, but Gallo was able to get to it despite stumbling a little bit. And we're going to go to the bottom of the fourth.
So with that in mind, still scoreless here at Target Field. We have yet to see the first run of this game. The Mariners came close, but they flied out when Marlowe was about to strike.
I'm trying to go ahead and, again, I can cheat and look at it, but I'm just going to say off the top of my head, do the Minnesota Twins even have a hit yet? I don't think they do.
I don't think so. They don't have a single hit in this game. Not a single runner.
No base runner.
Went toward the bases.
No base runner, no hits. Seattle's got 4. I just looked at it now. Just looking at the top of my head, it's been good so far as the pace. And I feel like my game story is going to be pretty short if this keeps up.
It's basically Castillo on pace for a no-hitter.
Yeah, Luis Castillo, we're going to give you the official numbers now. 3 innings pitched. He's going to go back out there, 3 strikeouts. But Kenta Maeda, he's given up 4 hits, but nothing earned, nothing else on that side, 4 strikeouts. So both of these pitchers, again, Maeda, we talk about his numbers recently over the last 3. He's about a 250 on that side of the ERA. His numbers this year are 466, but he's been way better than that. And both of these pitchers, again, one to contact, one just strikeouts. Again, they're both getting strikeouts, but one with speed with Castillo. It's working for both of these teams right now. We'll see if the Minnesota Twins now in the bottom of their 4th can get something going.
You'll see, because it's been a whole bunch of pitchers getting strikeouts and outs left and right. So Castillo, 29 pitches, 20 strikes so far. A really stellar night for him.
Yeah, I know you're going to be in the mix of the play-by-play, but I do want to get your thoughts at one point, as this is a ball inside. Carlos Correa is in the midst of a 6-year, $200 million. I know his numbers are down, but do you still like that signing?
I still like the signing of Correa, considering what he brings to a team, especially since he brings some valuable playoff experience with him. Not to mention that. So 1-1 count. As we get things started with the bottom of the 4th, this one is a low ball on the 85-mile-an-hour pitch on that slider from Castillo to make it a 2-1 count.
So pitch count for Castillo still very economical, 32.
Yeah, 32 as of right now. So this one's his 33rd pitch and a swing and a miss there from Carlos Correa. So this one was well wide. Yeah, just right by the tip of the bat. This one fouled out to right. This one up in the air. I imagine someone's going to catch that up in the stands from what he fans.
Was slammed on the first base line, tried to get a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right up in his kitchen, and Correa just got a piece of it.
Just a piece of that one as Correa swings and misses on the changeup going at 89.
You know what's crazy about that, Alec? On the bottom part of the right strike zone, that would have been a strikeout anyway. That was a beautiful pitch.
It was right outside that time around, but, well, what do you know? Luis Castillo continuing his very stellar night.
And now they're showing on the Minnesota Twins side, Edward Julian. He's going to have to sit in now with a 0-1 count.
Yeah, that was right for the right center of the strike zone. And the ball by a ball. And, well, 1-1. This one may have went off of something, hitting the ground.
So again, as I said, a 310 average for this 24-year-old rookie. He's been very impressive, but Castillo has been lock and key right now.
Very lock and key, even though he threw that low ball on the changeup at the bottom of the strike zone, 2-1 to count. Rose another. This was right outside the edge. A really fast sinker going at 97.
That's nasty. You got a lot of bite there, and again, that's a sinker. You got the fastball about 100, and Julian just calmly takes it, 3-1.
Calm, collected on this. Full count after that foul left field. So, in this sequence, 5 pitches, 3 balls, strike in the first one and a foul ball on the last one. Julian tried to rebound after that first out that he had, and this one was outside the strike zone, and he'll head to first.
Great at bat by Julian there. When I saw that calm and cool look that we got at the poise in the 3-1, he just stayed calm in that box. He found the pitch. He was able to figure it out the whole way and draw a walk. It's the first Twins base runner.
At last, he gets someone over one of the bases. At last, after 4 innings, this one popping out over to left field or right to first base and waiting for that one there. At third base for the Mariners was Suarez.
So Eugenio Suarez able to make an easy catch. Kirilov tried to jump on Castillo because they had someone on base. So in between lefties and switch, I'll just tell you, there's 6 lefties in a switch bat with Castillo. They're trying to get the handedness on Castillo to be able to see him right now, but at least Julian's able to get on base.
At least, because it was a whole bunch of nothing for the Twins up to this point, because Castillo's been having himself a night. A swing and a miss. Oh, a blazing fastball at 97.
Well, he just said take that to the AL Player of the Week. Kepler didn't look ready for it at all.
I think he hesitated on this, his one bit, on that swing and a miss. This one went above, just above the strike zone, barely on a fastball that looked identical to the previous.
So again, if you're going to want to make contact and Castillo bunches you up inside or just above high, you got to be patient, find a pitch you like. I know it's easier said than done. We'll see if Kepler can do it.
Well, that time that wasn't the right pitch because it was headed right towards him. The slider coming in at 86, going for the 2-1 count. Julian at first. As we wait for the 2-1 pitch, Kepler, the left-handed batter, as Julian is going right outside. Ty France. Oh, did they get him? Did they get him?
I think they got Edward Julian there. He was caught napping a little bit. He took too much of a lead off. Good throw over there from Castillo.
Oh, and this sequence ends with Julian getting caught way outside first base, and he got tagged.
That was good work there for Castillo and France. Again, forget what I said about Edward Julian. I know it was a good plate appearance, but you can't just give easy outs.
You can't, especially you're way outside first base looking for a possible steal at second. You just can't do that.
Well, we can definitively say now, Alec, I know it's a little bit of a joke here, but I'm just going to make it. You have the highlight reel sequence of the game right now, the pickoff at first.
Oh, it goes like, he's out.
So right now we have 4 hits for Seattle, nothing yet for the Twins. So if you want to still think about what's in the back of your mind, again, you might not think about that until about the 6th inning, but we're going to go to top of the 5th. I'll take the play-by-play there for the inning. Again, we will switch off on that side. I'm going to duplicate my ESPN window on the computer side, give you a little bit of scoring updates just in case anything else has come across that is of interest.
Because the Orioles, they're up 2-1 at the bottom of the 7th against the Phillies right now. And the Royals are surprising the Guardians 4-0 at Cleveland.
I want to say this honestly. I know the Royals aren't a very good team. Everyone else in the AL Central, I get it. But 28-73, really? I mean, I didn't expect them to be as bad as Oakland Athletics were going to be going to Vegas.
I mean, what? This feels like a nightmare season for the Royals, considering that they're 8 years removed from a World Series title.
I'm glad that you brought that up, Alec, because I was just going to say that. They went to back-to-back World Series, and they did get one when they signed Johnny Cueto on that end, when they were kind of going for it, and Alex Gordon was there, and some of the other pieces like that. So this brings into the 5th inning. That is a gorgeous splitter from Maeda that caught the bottom left of the box. So, again, slider splitter, that's been the main arsenal tonight for Maeda. And to the Mariners' credit, they got 4 hits. Tom Murphy's got one of them. And another fastball. This one's up into the perfect box of the top right, 0-2.
Perfect placement on those two pitches, on those strikes. There was a slider at the first pitch, and then the strike looking on the sinker at 90 didn't even swing one bit. The batter Murphy after that, but not before that ball. It was way out.
So in his previous plate appearance, he got a double about down the first base line that bounced off of the stanchion mooring part of it. He was able to get a double, and this is a splitter that's down up at the feet. It's 2-2 against Tom Murphy.
So Tom Murphy's just waiting for the right ball to come. He hasn't come yet, but Maeda's going to make it hard for him to find that perfect ball.
2-2 pitch, and that was a good hit. For Murphy, it's going to send Gallo way back. It's off the top of the wall. It's gone.
So there it is. After 5 innings with the Mariners getting all the hits, they were finally rewarded, and the catcher, Tom Murphy, getting them on the board first in the middle of this game.
So, Alec, I know you brought up Raleigh earlier with the memorable home run. How about this Seattle backup catcher, Tom Murphy's got 2 hits?
I love how far this has gone. Right above the wall. A little bummed out that it couldn't be caught by one of the fans, but either way counts for the Mariners.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, honestly, when you could take both your catchers there. Because Raleigh, we know he's a little bit like Joey Gallo as far as the catching position side, the feast or famine on the power side. But Murphy just showed his best impression. And now Dylan Moore will swing late on a fastball at the bottom part of the zone. It's now 1-1.
Swing and a miss as it was going right down for the strike zone. He basically had no choice. He had to swing it and either get that hit or risk getting a strike.
Slider way out of the zone there for Maeda. So Maeda's still doing very well on the pitch count. Again, no worries about giving up 1 run on the solo shot. Still at 64 pitches. Twins have got to be able to score some runs, and they're about 26th in batting average, but they're 7th in home runs, so a little bit different. Oh, Maeda definitely got a call there. Splitter down in the zone, way out of it, and it's 2-2.
Oh, yeah. This one was just right on the line, just enough to be good. He called a strike. Well, how do you do, Maeda?
And he spun Dylan Moore like a top with that slider down and out of the left side of the zone. So he is out, and that's going to bring up Cade Marlowe. He got his first hit in his previous plate appearance for the 26-year-old prospect. See if he can do it again.
I hope so, because considering that he is in his, what number of game is this for him?
I believe this is going to be about a 6th game. Marlowe definitely gets a piece of it. It's going to send Gallo back to the warning track, but he makes the catch.
This might be a dangerous play for Gallo in making this one, but nonetheless, regardless of how dangerous it is, he still makes it. Back in the warning track, he was backtracking and was running backwards. I know how hard that is to do, but nonetheless, he makes the catch.
So the one thing with Gallo we can say is J.P. Crawford now is back up, and again, we'll have to cut it short. Larnach, he's going to bust his way down the third baseline, and now he bobbles it. He's going to send this one in, and Crawford slides in with a double.
Oh, how about these Mariners? I love what I'm seeing from them in this game. And when Crawford blasted this one in the same inning when Murphy had that home run, Crawford, he almost fouls this. It was inches away from being a foul ball. But Larnach, he was racing to it, couldn't get there on time.
I was going to say in the previous point in between Gallo, because Buxton is on the paternity leave on that end, that you have a pretty good center fielder. I know there's parts with the strikeouts, but Gallo's got good speed, and normally he'd play left, but you don't have Buxton. You got Larnach in there. He made the play that he could. Just perfect placement there for Crawford. He's got his second hit. Julio Rodriguez will sky this one in the shallow second base side, and this will be picked up by Julian. So it's a home run for Tom Murphy. They draw first blood, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 1-0 Mariners.
good news for the Twins. They have that out. The bad news, they're coming up an inning where they allowed the first run of this game. They have to get some firepower going into this fifth inning because it's been a whole bunch of nothing for them.
So I'm gonna have you put on your color hat there just for a second. I know you're already doing that now, but what do you think the Twins need to change against Castillo, or is he just looking that good right now?
I feel Castillo is having himself a night. That's what I'm seeing here. Because I was listening of the last cast when you and Cooper were doing that Mariners Guardians game, but Castillo has been really lights out this match.
Yeah, he's only walked one. That's all that's there right now. I mean, the only obvious thing I think I could say is the Twins have to wait for a pitch that's in toward the middle part of the strike zone, maybe middle in. But again, that's easier said than done because I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 pitches that have even been middle in. They've been down below. They've been perfect placement like Maeda's, but you got 98 on the other end, and it's hard to look for. And that's why Castillo is difficult to hit.
Even though he's had an issue of home runs as of late, that doesn't seem to be a problem here. And so far, very, very good for him as he is heading right into the fifth inning. So we're seeing the American Forces Network scoreboard on the bottom below is what we're seeing in the Valley Sports North feed. And they exit out the Root Sports Northwest feed because it's been having issues there.
So again, I'm on the Twins side for MLB Network because of T-Mobile. If anything does mix up and we need to switch, we will definitely do that. So you got 4, 5, and 6 here for the Twins. Kepler will be the first to bat here in the bottom of the fifth against Luis Castillo, who is not even at 50 pitches. And we are in the bottom of the fifth. It's an 0-1 count. This one's lasered down the second base line, and this will be picked up here on a hop from Hernandez. And Kepler has got the first hit of the game for the Twins.
It was about time that they get a run in. They've been. I don't know what the proper term is for them to describe their first 4 innings, but they were getting nothing from their offense outside walk. But it was about time, and Kepler had that one. A good look for right field.
Wallner will serve this one down the third baseline. This one will get fouled back. It's 0-1 against Matt Wallner, who's going to play DH today. For the season, 300, 1 home run, 4 RBI for the Platoon player here. So we'll see how he can do. Again, the German sensation Max Kepler is at first base. He's got the first hit for the Twins. And this one was up in on the hands, and it did not get a piece of Wallner. I thought it might have hit him up into the protective part of the elbow, but it's 0-2.
They're saying it's a foul ball. He may have gotten a piece of it on my end, but that looked very close.
I think it might have hit a piece of the bat. I think I agree with you on that side. You caught that on first look more so than I did. 0-2 now against Wallner. And Castillo, when you got someone pinned in a corner, usually punches them out. And did Wallner go too far? And they appeal to the third base line. I believe it's 1-2 now.
Oh, he was right on the edge. That was very close to
wow.
Strike.
Yeah, that was maybe a friendly call down the third base line. Here's a 1-2. Castillo and a slider inside, and Wallner way out in front of it. And we'll do it again at 1-2.
Oh, that almost hit the ball boy. Oh, got to be careful there.
Yeah, if I'm a ball boy or ball girl down the first base, third base line, I see a lot of them make some outstanding catches. That would have been an absolute bullet.
And that was an absolute. Just imagine that exit velocity of that. That was speeding right in his direction.
No doubt about it. This one's followed back into the screen. Again, we talk about screens and directions and baseballs that can come with a lot of velocity off the bat. It's good to see everything else is protected now. I know a lot more people are on their phones nowadays, but nonetheless, you don't want to have something screaming at 100 miles an hour up in the fans' direction. We'll do it again at 1-2 for the third time, and this one is served off the end of the bat. Wallner will stay alive.
That might have went off the bat and off the umpire that time.
So
Right off the arm.
Yes, it did. And I will say this, honestly, whether or not he strikes out or anything else after that, yeah, it caught the umpire in the left arm. We'll wait here for this one pitch, as this one is 1-2, and did not get the call was Castillo. I don't know where that missed, but I was going to say Wallner. I think he's had one of the best Twins at-bats of the night so far.
Yes, this long running sequence here at 7 pitches thus far. It's a nice sequence for him. It's still going on here after that one was right outside the strike zone, right outside the left line.
Good take for Wallner there. Splitter inside. It's going to be pitch number 8. And you could try to have a situation for the Twins where they can get runners on first and second with no outs, depending on what Wallner does here.
See? Well.
Full count pitch upcoming for Castillo. This one slammed to center field, and this is going to be easy for Julio Rodriguez. He doesn't need the sunglasses now. He's discarded those, and this will put Kepler back at first.
I guess the sun's not shining that bright in Minnesota as right now. Now that Rodriguez had that one catch for the first out of this inning. So that puts Castillo back on the mound here, and Kepler at first.
Willie Castro will dig in. And this one is, swing and a miss for Castro. He went for the downs there, and he was late.
That one coming in hot at 97. And looking at 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, these batters, they have to be perfect in swinging it. But that time, it was, wow. It can be very hard to hit.
That was power on power, pretty much right down the middle, split the plate, and Castillo won that. It's 0-1 against Willie Castro, and a little early on this fastball was a nice adjustment for the former Tiger, now turned Twin. He's playing third base. He is a switch batter. He's got a little bit of power. He also plays outfield as well. Again, for the Tigers, I know they're in the midst of a long rebuild that never started under Al Avila, but Castro is a decent piece, and it's no surprise that the Twins picked him up. It's 0-2 now. This one is off the catcher's mask of Tom Murphy, and this one goes back.
A rare foul ball there that you don't see off this one that goes off the mask. Very rare do you see these in the MLB, as he was trying to get that fastball at 97.
So Castillo at the bottom 5 to start was at 45 pitches. He throws number 60 out of the zone, and that was a good long at bat there on the other side from Wallner to extend the pitch count at least a little bit, but Castillo still in great shape. You would think both of these starters will at least go 6. Castro now waiting on the 1-2 pitch. This one is a fastball that is up and toward the top left of the box, and we'll do it again.
As we look back into Sunday's game in the 9th inning when Willie Castro led the Twins to that victory over the White Sox, saying that one up. The first game was a blowout, but the last 2 games were one run wins for Minnesota.
Yeah, they were. And if you're the White Sox, man, I imagine over the last couple of years when you had expectations and now just seeing the barn doors get blown off, who's more disappointing than the White Sox? My goodness.
You can argue the Mets with their large payroll.
Yeah, I will give you that one. That's good on you being right on top of it. Yeah, I would say the Mets for sure. I just thought in between the AL Central that was open, you figured that the White Sox would be, in the mix, but they are not.
It's just disappointing for the White Sox.
So Castro, but yeah, the Mets, I would definitely give you that one. As this one is 2-2. Castro fouls it back again. We're going to get a look at it for Suarez. Makes a basket catch.
Oh, that was a great chase down for that catch. Wow, he was coming in from distance. Like on that foul out when Suarez was chasing right down, right in front of the fans. Just right in front of them.
Alec, I'm going to tell you honestly, I didn't think there was any chance in the world that he was going to get there.
I mean, he was coming in with with such speed that these fans were having their jaws dropped. As we caught one on camera with their jaw dropped. Wow.
Yeah, he was almost shaded toward the shortstop side and in a full dead sprint toward the left side of the wall of the third baseline. He makes the catch before the netting. And now this will bring up Trevor Larnach. Kepler still stranded at first after that fine play.
They need help from him there.
So Larnach, he's 0 for 1 in this game. And that's a big drive for Trevor Larnach. Where's this one going to go? This goes off the wall. Hernandez can't make the catch. And we will see if the run will score. The Twins do get one. This puts Larnach to third. And the Twins have tied the game.
Finally, they were looking for a spark of life here. They have it. With 2 outs, will no matter. Off the wall, and they get a triple out of this one. And this was a high ball right to the wall. I guess he was trying to jump that one. Well, it was above his head.
Yeah, I don't think Teoscar had a chance in the world to try to catch that off the carom. And I'll say maybe I know I'm not a math major. You think maybe he missed that home run by about 5 or 6 feet off the wall?
I guess we'll have to take some calculations. So, I'll admit I dropped out of calculus, so I didn't finish that course. But look close.
Farther than me, my friend. This one's down the line for Vasquez. And the Twins have scored 2 straight runs.
This inning has been a friendly one after horrid play in the first 4 innings. They're getting rewarded here in the 5th inning after bad play, and they're coming right back with 2 runs. And that was an amazing base hit that allowed them to score 2.
And he fouled that one off pretty much right off the hands. He was busted inside. It was going to be a ball strong enough to muscle it down the first base line. I know Castillo's got a look on his face, Alec, right now that suggests what the heck's going on right now. You would think even before this, I can mention it now because it's gone, it looked like Castillo might be throwing like a 1 or 2 hitter, and now he's given up 2 runs, and the Twins have taken the lead with 2 outs.
A shocking turn of events here in Minneapolis. And I wonder about the look on his face. He may be as shocked as I am.
No doubt about it. He got joined right in there with it. Gallo was swinging for the downs. He missed it. It's 0-1. Gallo might know if he doesn't get hit anyway. It's right up the top of the lineup, so they might swing out of his shoes. This is 97, up and in. It's 1-1 against Joey.
Who's coming right near him that time? The catcher got there to prevent that hit by pitcher rule.
I kind of like these Twin Cities. Is this a little bit of a throwback here for the Minnesota Twins? I like these jerseys.
It feels a little throwback, a nod to Minneapolis, St. Paul, considering that they're just right by each other, right through the north side of the Mississippi River.
I like those. I'm going to give those ones a solid B. I'm going to go ahead and grade it at that. It's 1-2. This is a fastball way outside. Murphy will throw this back to Castillo. It's 2-2 now.
And these fastballs coming in at 97, and Castillo throwing these 97-mile-an-hour fastballs with easies, making it look easy.
5 seconds left to go here on the pitch clock. Get an extra 5 seconds with the runner on base, and a slider is in on the foot. It's a full count against Gallo. And we know about his power numbers as Alec has dictated. Maybe you're considering a walk, but you got Carlos Correa with runners in scoring position, and that always kind of sends a chill down my spine. The crowd gets to his feet here. Bottom of the 5th, the Twins have scored 2. Here's a perfect pitch right on the black. Gallo punches out, but the Twins have taken the lead. It's 2-1 as we go to the 6th.
Oh, Castillo needed that one because the Twins, they were right there taking the lead, and they were looking to build off of that and getting some more. They had a runner at first, but last time around it was a triple that led to the scoring that second run. It was so close to that home run, but nonetheless, I feel that it would have been sweeter if they had that home run, but anything counts by this point.
You know what, on that side, I know Target Field is one of those relatively newer ballparks on that end, and I'm not going to call that part of the wall the Green Monster, but that was a triple that was hit in the wrong spot, to be honest with you. If it was anywhere slightly towards center field, it would have absolutely been gone.
I know it's not exactly the Green Monster, but that's iconic in Fenway Park, but still, if it were hit to the left side, yeah, that would have been gone.
I will be right back, my friend.
All right, then. You have to get things going here. To get you to recap so far between the Mariners and Twins. The Mariners with 2 runs, or excuse me, 1 run in the 5th inning, but the Twins responded with 2 in that same inning. So Murphy has the home run. Going Lornak and Vasquez. No, not Lornak, not Vasquez, but Lornak and Kepler with the runs for the Twins. That confused some things up. Because Lornak had the triple. Just have to run by Kepler. Vasquez on the base hit. Just have that run from Lornak. So it's 2-1 Twins. Coming right back here. Start the 6th inning.
I gotta tell you, Alec, I know it's been a while right now, about half a season so far with the pitch clock and all these new rules, but I love the pace. And this 2-man booth that we got right now between both of it, it just makes covering these games a lot more fun and a lot more brisk.
You know, I'm hoping to do it in this again come playoff time and further down the stretch of the regular season.
So now, Maeda's got the lead here, my friend.
Yeah, the top of the 6th inning. So that was the 71st pitch, and this was hit over to 3rd base, and that is out.
That was about as easy as you like. Castro right over to first base on that side, and Maeda just 1 pitch, able to get it out here. And we will see if Seattle can continue to respond. I know it's been a punch, counter punch type of game here. The solo shot for Tom Murphy, a triple for Trevor Larnach, scored a couple of runs there on that side. And the Twins, they get another win here in the AL Central. They can go about 5 games above 500, so that'll be big for them.
Yeah, considering that the Twins have the division lead, being 3 games ahead of the Guardians, that they're going to build on this, considering that they're the only team in the AL Central to have a positive run differential, as there was a swing and a miss from Hernandez.
And Teoscar tried to get down to a knee to get to that slider. No chance. It's 0-2.
So, there's Vasquez on that catch for that ball.
Nothing
1-2 count.
Nothing for Hernandez there. A splitter way out of the zone.
And just like that, there was another one that was way out of the zone. This one was rather above that time for the 2-2 count on that fastball. Waiting here as Hernandez is waiting for that right pitch. And no, this one was way out. He was trying to go for it all there.
Oh,
He's
man.
going to regret that one.
We could say good pitch for Maeda because you got Hernandez as a good hitter, but that's a poor effort there.
Yeah, you could say that, but yeah, that was well outside the strike zone that time. It was a slider that Maeda was throwing there. Yeah, it was way out of the strike zone. And now he's up against Ford this time and throws one right down the middle.
I feel like, Alec, if I'm Seattle, I know they started with a lot of hits, but they're staring at some of these pitches. I'm not sure why.
And some of these pitches that they're just looking at them and not even trying to swing them. This one was an errant ball thrown way up, way right, 1-1.
Maeda's still at 78 pitches. You might even see him in the 7th the way this is going. He's looked really good.
It's one of those rare times in which the starting pitcher can go this deep into the game.
Yeah. The days of Verlander and Scherzer in their prime are not very much in MLB anymore.
Because usually these starting pitchers, they'd go, if they pitch well, they would go up until the 6th inning, and then the bullpen starts coming out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's the way that it works now, because everybody else in the bullpen to throw about 100 miles an hour routinely. And Duran on that side, Yohan Duran is another piece for the Twins that can do it.
And then when you get to the 9th inning, and that's when the closers start coming out. Think Edwin Diaz, Josh Hader.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got Munoz on the other side for Seattle. He can bring it in triple digits as well. Ty France hoping to get on deck here, but it's 3-2.
And that ends up with a swing and a miss from Ford. The Mariners do not get anything from the 6th inning after having that home run at the top of the 5th. So the Twins have a chance to expand on their lead after going runless or hitless, for the 4th.
So I know that you talked about this a little bit going into the break here, as we're going to be in the bottom 6, and Alec's going to stay on the play-by-play side. We have a lot more scores to get to, and holy cow, I might have my work cut out for me tomorrow if I do the Rangers and the Astros. That's what I'm going to try to cover there. It's bottom 2, and they're at Minute Maid in between Texas and Houston, and it's already 5-4 Rangers.
This could end up being a thriller of a game, just like what we saw between the Diamondbacks and Braves in their game when it was 16-13.
So I'm not too familiar with Brandon Billick on that side for the Astros, but he's the one that's starting. He's given up 3 runs in 2 innings pitched. John Gray has given up 4 runs for the Rangers in an inning and 2/3. So 3 runs for Texas, unanswered in the top of the 2nd, and brings up the Houston Bats. So it's going to be an interesting one here, and I expect that AL West in between Texas and the Astros, I think that might go down to the wire there, Alec.
It might be one of those high-scoring games by how it's looking as of late. 5-4 Rangers at the bottom of the 2nd. Well, they just end the 2nd inning right now after that ground out from Kyle Tucker. But this is going to set up for a really good thriller.
Do you think not only for that game, but I was kind of alluding to this as far as AL West, I think the Rangers and the Astros, that might go down to game 162.
It might, considering how neck and neck these two are. We might get ourselves a playoff preview between these two teams, that and the Braves and Brewers, in which I covered 3 days ago.
Yeah, those are 2 really good teams as well. The Atlanta Braves, it must be nice to be Alex Anthopoulos on that end. You lock everybody up to good deals.
Yeah, you re-sign everyone and keep all your key players.
Yes.
Like Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Ozzie Albies. Swing and a miss there from Correa. He's now at an 0-2 count. Just like that, his 2 quick strikes.
So it's kind of a shame for Castillo, only give up a couple runs, and now you're up against it here. The pitch count's still really good at 76, but Seattle's got to score some runs.
As you're considering that they're down by 1 now after scoring the first run of this game. So 1-2 is the count here after that low ball and slider. Another low ball this time around. This one came on a changeup, coming at 88.
It's good to see Correa be able to split on a couple of those change-ups and splitters there, try to get himself back in the driver's seat of this at-bat.
Well, he's going to have to wait this time around.
Oh.
He was trying to go for that far ball, and he paid the price.
I just tried to pay him a compliment, but he just did the mirror image of what Teoscar Hernandez did in his at-bat. He goes and reaches for a slider way out of the zone. After looking at a couple of close pitches, he tried to swing for the fences and nowhere close.
It's not even close one bit. And coming in now is Edward Julian, who had a walk in the 4th.
Yeah.
Was the first guy on a base for the Twins on the night. So immediately 2 balls thrown by Castillo and it's a 2-0 count.
I want to say this honestly here, Alec. I know as a rookie, but I'm looking at his eyes, everything else like concentration. He just seems unbothered in the box.
He doesn't seem phased one single bit whether it be from those sinkers or sliders. So two of these sinkers came at 97 miles an hour, both were at the top. And that was thrown inside that time on that fastball. So 3-1.
I think that's a good take. That's a fastball toward the top of the right box. I don't think he's going to do much with that one anyway.
He's not going to do much with that fastball going right inside. And, yep, another sequence, another walk for Julio.
Great at that. Great at that. Again, he's just looking for something that he wants to find. And if it's not going to be provided there, is again, he knows the strike zone. For being a rookie and being 24, I'm impressed. Again, it's my first really long look at him, but I'm going to give him an extra check mark box. He looks pretty good.
Note the body language.
Yeah.
He's just looking for the right pitch, knows where the strike zone is, and capitalize on that one for the walk. Now comes Alex Kirilloff, the first baseman. And a 1-0 count immediately after that fastball going by his side, swings and misses on the second pitch. That was a slider that was right outside the edge of the strike zone. It's a 1-1 count.
So I know the Twins, again, they're about 6th in home runs in Major League Baseball. There's a couple times when they're getting ahead, trying to take a big swing, but Castillo is keeping the ball out of the danger areas for the most part.
He just knows where to throw here for the most part throughout this game. Despite the 2 runs that he gave up, he's been having it good. So despite those 2 runs.
Yeah, because one of those ones was Christian Vasquez on a ball that was in on the hands. It's kind of a tough luck hit. And sometimes that's baseball. That's the way it works.
It's kind of funny putting at that. And 3 straight strikes in this sequence. 2 of them by swinging.
Yeah, that slider, no chance. It's down on the back foot there, and he could have swung at that 4 times. He never would have made contact. What a pitch by Castillo.
He's going back to that technique, the slider, which he has been known for. And now back comes Max Kepler at a base hit in the 5th and a run. And Julian was almost caught off guard that time. Ty France tried to get him out. Well, that time he got to the base.
Well, Julian can't do it again. He's already been picked off 1 time in this game.
Oh, this one bounced off the foul line right side this time around. That was on a slider by Castillo.
Yeah, the first one, as we're talking about in reference, that was a few innings ago. The first walk for Julian, he was picked off at first base as Castillo threw right over to France. They tried to get him again. Now it's 0-1 against Kepler.
Max Kepler, the German sensation, line one up deep to right field, a base hit. Could this be more? Did it get him? That time around, oh, Julian's hurt.
Oh, no. Immediately grabs at the shoulder there for Edward Julian. And if you're a Twins fan, hopefully he just got kind of knocked up a little bit and he's okay, because, man, that would be brutal to lose somebody like him. But he is grabbing on that right shoulder.
That was a rough way to go out. He was trying to slide to third base and colliding with the dirt on the ground that time around when Suarez tagged him.
Oh, man. They're showing it on the Bally Sports feed for the Twins. It went right on the shoulder. He bounced it off the tag, as Alec said. They're going to go to break. I hope that Edward Julian's okay, because if you're a Twins fan, again, we'll go over the numbers. 310, 9 home runs, 16 RBI, 21 walks, 58 strikeouts, 24-year-old rookie. I mean, those are all-star numbers, and you're essentially could be possibly taking somebody like that out of your lineup. You can't replace that.
Absolutely not, considering that how well he's done throughout this game. Aside from the fact that he got tagged earlier, and now this was a rough way for him to go out. But I appreciate that effort that he was trying to slide to third base. That's dedication from him.
Yeah, I think he's had a great game. I know a couple walks or whatever. Anytime you get on base, that's what I care about. I don't care if you hit or whatever else. You get on base, you're providing something there. You make the effort, try to bust it down from first to third off the Kepler hit. That's a good throw on the other side for Teoscar Hernandez. I know he tried to jump there on the Larnick chance that went off the wall, but Teoscar threw the hose there to third base, and that was a good tag from Suarez.
And that was even though that was a good tag with Suarez, that's a rough way for Julio to go out. The man born from Quebec, interestingly, by the way, that he's been having it good.
Yes, he has. So we're going to be going into the 7th inning now, as long as I have my math and everything else in front of me here. It's 2-1 for the Twins. They're showing the play right now. So Hernandez, that's an absolute bomb from the right field line, and the tag for Suarez in the left shoulder is where Julian slammed in the turf. And this is immediately back from Maeda to Ty France. And the good thing for Edward Julian, he's shaking it out. He's right back at second base. So good to see.
And hopefully he bounces back in a big way, considering the game that he's been having. I hope he gets something out of this.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him get another big hit. He's already had a great game with a couple walks. He's been on base. Ty France now 0 for 2. Mariners looking to get any sort of answer here. They're actually down to their final 9 outs on that side, if you can believe it. This game has gone by quickly, but that's what the pitch clock and everything else will do. It's 1-2 now.
The pitch clock has been speeding this game up, and I know as some people don't like it. This may be revolutionary for baseball.
I'm in the complete opposite end, my friend. I love it.
Oh, I like this too. Well, I know there's some people who don't, but I've been warming up to this.
So Giovanni Moran, the long reliever for the Twins, will get set to go. So on that side, for his numbers, I do have those in front of me. He is, let me make sure that I got this there, a 4.31 ERA and a 1.34 whip, so he can be hit. So we'll see how much longer Maeda goes. The 3-2 pitch, and that's a walk for Ty France. That's exactly what Seattle needs. They've had base runners in this game, but a lot of times they've been stranded at first. And we will see if Tom Murphy can do it again. His last plate appearance was a bomb.
Yeah, bomb right to deep, off the wall and right into the grass that time around. So he's looking to do this again, make it 2 home runs for him and to get the Mariners up 3-2. So yeah. Maeda's still in.
That's a gorgeous pitch for Maeda that busted him up in the hands, right on the black. Nothing but Murphy could do is look at it. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a bomb, and he's replacing Cal Raleigh, who just played the other day against the Blue Jays. So give him a day off. Murphy almost off the back foot, and now it's 0-2.
Cal Raleigh being from North Carolina. Well, I know Raleigh is the capital city of North Carolina, but Cal Raleigh is all the way from Cologne, which is to the western part of North Carolina.
That's pretty good there, my friend, on that side. So it's a big swing and a miss, and Maeda, that was bounced a couple times in the dirt, and Murphy still went at it. He was completely fooled.
I mean, good adjustment to get to the splitter. It looked like it was going to go something else there, but as this was going down right to the ground, and Murphy was going for it all, he got fooled there.
So they're going to get a meeting on the mound here with bench manager Rocco Baldelli, the former Tampa Bay Devil Ray. I remember in the video games in the PS2 days, this is a blast from the past, in MVP Baseball 2004. It was Carl Crawford and Rocco Baldelli, but now he's the manager for the Twins. That tells you how old I am. So Maeda, is he going to get a chance to stay in? I think he's convinced the bench boss to do so, and why not? He's been excellent.
I mean, without even pitching, that this might be the right decision to have him keep going here to 7 with 1 out.
Yeah, I think Alec, yeah, you get him up to at least he's at 91, get him to 100 at least. He's looked comfortable, no strenuous action. This is a splitter up high, and this will be 1-0 against Dylan Moore.
And Maeda, very few times here in the modern day MLB that you would see a pitcher go up to 100 pitches, but when you have games like these, you can realistically see both of them going up to 100, but for you on the other side. Who knows?
Yeah, no doubt about it. 2-0. Dylan Moore. This one is in on the fist. That's a great YouTube question. We're going to get to that one at the break side. What is your top 3 favorite baseball video games? Think about that one. I have my answers in the back of my mind. I'm starting to think about that. Maeda, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run. It's a 2-1 count against Moore. And this is a splitter just outside of the bottom of the box. 3-1, 1 out, with a runner on first here for the Mariners.
Ty France is just patiently waiting if there's going to be a walk or if there's going to be a big hit out. But nonetheless, just looking for the right pitch.
And he swung right through the splitter there at 90, fill it up at 3-2. Cade Marlowe would be next unless there's a double play, and actually he's been really good at the bottom of the order, making consistent contact. Fans get to their feet. They want Maeda to get this out. And this one is popped up down the third base line. Taking a look at it, a couple of twins, left field and third. This one goes way up into the seats. We'll do it again.
So we'll be back here in about this next pitch. We'll see what Maeda comes up with. But he's been having himself a night. 97 pitches and counting.
Yes, he has, Alec. It's been a perfect outing for Maeda. It's exactly what the Twins been able to get as far as their pitching staff. We've talked about it. Second in all in the categories. We'll step off. We'll take a disengagement here and dig at the dirt. Still waiting for a full count pitch. So they're second in every pitch part of it, but first in whip. So, again, they just need to get a few more runs here for the Twins consistently, and they'll definitely take the AL Central. Full count pitch just outside. Dylan Moore draws the walk. Maeda wanted it, but that was a good 5 feet out. And it will bring up Marlowe, and Rocco Baldelli will get his starter.
So Marlowe, bottom of the lineup right now. Liking what I'm seeing from this young man. I'm hoping that he gets a hit at some point here. So Maeda feel that he's going to exit out, finishing this game with 98 pitches. Really nice night for him.
Absolutely. He's going to be responsible for the runners on first and second, but he gets a standing ovation as we go to break as well. He should. I'm going to go ahead, OT63, the YouTube side, with the top 3 favorite baseball games. I'll try to give you a mix of a little bit of everything. We'll go Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball on Super Nintendo. I'll give you MVP Baseball 2005 for the PS2, and we'll do a recent MLB The Show. How about that? Those are my top 3 favorites.
I like that list for you. Even though I've yet to play any baseball video game, this is a really respectable list coming for you, John.
I'm just trying to give you the good old standards. As far as let me say this, Alec, on that end. If you do play the recent MLB The Shows, they do have online team play. So you can lock in as a Major League Baseball team and play, you switch your batter. So you go, every single time, like we're switching play-by-play, you switch batter to batter from appearance. So we take turns, and you take turns pitching too. So it's pretty darn fun. If you end up getting a Series X or whatever, there's also cross-play. You might like it.
Crossplay is a really nice idea when it comes to sports video games,
yes.
Considering that you can play over if anyone competing at Xbox or PlayStation. So, yep, I'd be open to that one.
So, yeah, could definitely do that. I know I was mentioning with you, I'll mention this on the YouTube side because you do have a couple people listening in on that side. In the sense of the NHL 24 beta, that's going to start at the end of August. I think the sign-up window will be at the end of July, so I'll let Alec know when that is. But the cross-play on that side is only from generation to generation, so PS5 to Series and then PS4 to Xbox One. So I do have PS5. If you do get a Series, sign up for the beta on your Series console. Or, you know what, we'll play it in October because I like to play some club play. I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I can handle my own on that end. I think we could have a lot of fun. I haven't played NHL since 21 like yourself on that side, but if you like playing the game, I'd like to play with you. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, I've enjoyed the pace of play in hockey games, and not only in hockey games, but also to hockey video games that the pace of play is so exciting, and then the whole creativity of the game that I find good as well. And then again, there are going to be those people that complain, but I see that there can be some bright spots that EA can improve on.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to hope for. So we do have a pinch hitter. Jose Calabero is going to pinch hit here for Cade Marlowe. That is, I think, a handed differenceness that they went for. So Moran is the one off of the bench here in the bullpen, and this is going to get picked up by Kepler. So this is bounced up into the air. This is going to bring up J.P. Crawford back to the top of the order, and he's got to get a big-time hit here, Alec, on that side, because runners are at first and second.
And J.P. Crawford is looking to go for it all. The risk here is that there's 2 outs.
Yeah.
The Mariners cannot afford a mistake here. They cannot.
No, you got to make contact. And like we said for Moran, it's one of the bullpen arms with the ERA over 4. As far as the Twins, they've been excellent, but he's one of the guys you can hit. 95 right at the bottom of the zone, pops it in, and it's 0-1 against Crawford.
Yeah, I thought he had second thoughts about swinging that, but might be causing, oh boy.
0-1 pitch, and this one is way down. That's a good block there for Vasquez. Swollen up to 1-1 now.
That was right on his tie area on that pitch. That went low right into the ground and then popped right up to his tie.
So Crawford has got runners on first and second. He needs to come through here with 2 outs. This one down the left field side, and this is caught on a run by Larnach. He made great contact, but he hit it right at the defensive outfield and left to Larnach. Maeda only surrenders 1. His pitching line is done. All that's known now is if he's going to get the win. Twins still got the lead, and they got the next bats going in the bottom 7, 2-1.
So the Twins are at the driver's seat, and that was a good pop out over to the left field for Crawford, but that was up high into the air, just enough elevation and just enough distance for Larnach to pay attention to that the entire way.
Yes.
He saw that.
Sometimes, like we say, you hit it hard, but you hit it right at somebody, and that's what happened for J.P. Crawford. Again, he's had some excellent at-bats. Again, Cade Marlowe, before he got pinch lifted, he's been excellent on that side. Tom Murphy's had a couple hits. It's not like Seattle's hasn't had chances. They've just left runners on base. And on that side for the Twins, you can kind of think it on the other end for, let's see, Trevor Larnach on that side, who just made the catch when he hit the triple down the right field line. It's a 2-1 lead, and it was an inside out off the hands from Christian Vasquez, and that's pretty much been it. When we get back into this YouTube comment, again, I don't know what this game is, but I'm going to go ahead and read your comment anyway. I had KJG Slugfest on my Game Boy Color. I remember Game Boy Colors. I probably was like 8 years old at the time. That thing had a franchise mode for a Game Boy Color game. That's impressive. I still play MVP Baseball 2005 every summer. Again, that tells you how good EA's baseball game used to be before the show got their own version of it. Like Madden is the only one that can make football games now. But he goes, I enjoy the emulators, out of the park baseball on PC. I haven't played any PC baseball side of it, but I do know about emulations and things like that you can't have if you have a nice computer. So I appreciate you sharing that on that end, and I'll have to try to figure out some more baseball games. But we'll see what happens in between, Madden with the NFL licenses. 2K get back in on that. I know 2K's basketball game comes out in September with Kobe Bryant on the cover. That's always a big one. Does EA make another NBA Live? We need more variety in sports games so we can get games like NBA Street, because that was amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the 2K used to make NHL games in the past. They discontinued it after 2K11, by the way.
Those were good games, I remember.
Yeah, those were nice games. They were to resume it, I say, probably get the commentators over from the NHL on TNT in a sense, I'm guessing.
I think that would be a great call by you. I could see that definitely happening. So it's going to be Wallner, 5, 6, and 7 against Castillo. He's still out there in the 7th. Again, this is probably 2 outs in where Maeda was pulled. Castillo's in that same spot. Just missed, and I mean just missed. Top left of that corner, 2-2 count.
So Castillo still pitching here in the 7th inning. So That's twice in the same game that we've seen pitchers going this deep into the game. Warming up in the meantime is Justin Topa.
I like it. You have good deep outings for both of these pitchers who've been really good. Wallner, again, I think it's another full count. He's the one that had the long at bat. This is a splitter right down the middle, and that'll split the plate as easy as you like, and I guess it froze Wallner, but how do you not swing?
Yeah, how do you not swing that? The ball was right there for taking. Just right down for the middle. You got to have to swing that. Take a chance there. You either get a strike trying, or take it out trying, or you get a run swinging.
Castro, he's going to swing out of his shoes a little early there on the slider. And it's 0-1 for the former Tiger here. Again, playing third base. He could play anywhere in the outfield as well. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and follow-up. And a fastball. And Castro, that was outside, but Castillo got the call, make it 0-2.
Just right on the edge of that strike zone. It was just so close on that, but it was just right outside.
So it's a 6-4 game now in between the Rangers and the Astros. My goodness, again, I'm thinking about having some pains as this one is driven deep center field on the warning track, and Castro gave it a bid, but Rodriguez makes the catch.
It looked like it had the distance. That's what you think at first glance. That was a perfectly batted ball there from Castro.
Yeah.
It looked like it had the distance at first glance. But then there's Rodriguez right at the warning tracks. It was close, but not enough.
So Larnach against Castillo in pitch number 100 as he hits the century mark, is up and in for a ball, make it 1-0.
Oh, and then Love. Just a little foul to the right that time around. I may be ahead of you.
So RBI triple for Trevor Larnach. 1-1 again. That scored a couple runs, and that was in combined with the Christian Vasquez hit. So 7 and 8 have done the damage here, scored both the runs. As Larnach gets set to check in, Jordan Balazovic is the bullpen arm here for the Twins. Again, he is a former starter. That's what they want to throw him in, but he's in the bullpen side now as it's 2-1 against Larnach. Castillo ready to throw the pitch again. This is a fastball up at 96, fall back up into the netting.
There are times when former starters can be reliable over relief pitchers, and that is the case with Balazovic. Just as was the case with the Braves when they had Kirby Yates come out for closing duties against the Brewers. He's a former All-Star closer himself, and he showed why in that game.
And Alec, I'm just going to say this is plain as day. I don't care if you're whether to be a starter, bullpen, wherever. If you're a manager and I can trust you to get outs, just like he swung right through that splitter, Castillo's day might be done as Larnach punches out. Wherever you can get outs, I'll take you. I don't care what it is.
That was a great history. What could be the end of Castillo's night, right down through the bottom center of that strike zone. Even though he was swinging, any swing by this point is a good swing unless it is way out.
So as you get set here for the 8th, I hope that you get a chance to check out closer here for the Twins and Duran on that, so I get a chance to watch. That would be a setup guy on that end because you can definitely bring in about 102. This has been a great game. I've really enjoyed doing this with you so far. I kind of expected this as far as the pitching duel. That's why I was thinking tomorrow I would serve up my own lunch and maybe have to call 20 different runs in between the Astros and the Rangers. So it's kind of nice to get a pitching duel because I'm sweating the prospects for tomorrow. I'm not going to lie.
Especially with how bright the Rangers' future can be with the season that they're having. The young guys coming up big, finally at last. Maybe we could see a World Series run from them. But it's basically wide open between them, the Rays, the Orioles, Astros. And then on the NL side, you got the Braves, Dodgers, Brewers, and the up-and-coming Diamondbacks.
I like all those teams that you mentioned. I think the only thing, this isn't a big swing to take. I'm just going to say it. I think as far as the National League, if I'm going to pick a team, I'll let the easy button. I think the Braves are a complete team all the way across the board.
And here they are. They have the depth up and down the lineup and reliable guys all around for the field. And they show that they're the best team in the NL.
We'll get set to take the 8th here, my friend. This is going to be a lot of fun to see what happens in this finish.
So Balazovich, the native of Mississauga, Ontario, the same city where John Tavares is from, by the way. He ended the Toronto Maple Leafs 19-year playoff drought this year. They're looking to load up. By the way, they just got back Ilya Samsonov on a one-year deal. So his first pitch here at the top of the 8th, it's right down through left center. A fastball, no swing.
If you want to get something going here, Alec, it's the right side of the order. J-Rod Suarez and Teoscar Hernandez.
Now coming on over as it goes right through right field, and the Mariners get a base hit from Rodriguez.
And that is big because Julio Rodriguez, again, if I'm looking at this right, he's also got 22 stolen bases on the year. You definitely know about his fleet-footedness, and I would expect the Twins need to be on full alert. So does Christian Vasquez.
His 23 stolen bases are 11 above, or not 11 above, they are 7 above the next closest leader in stolen bases, that being Jose Caballero.
I think in the
Suarez on Balazovich.
I think in the National League, isn't it Ronald Acuna is the one that leads? He's doing everything for Atlanta.
He's doing it all. They're a big-name superstar from that team. Even though he doesn't lead them in home runs, he doesn't have to, considering how big they are. Matt Olson being the only one with 30 plus on that team. We do have something here, a discussion between Balazovich and the catcher Christian Vasquez.
I think it's just one of those pitch-com relay signals. Maybe the batteries are dead. Hopefully not, because that takes a couple minutes usually. I've seen a couple of the umpires need to go find some batteries sometimes, so I hope that's not it.
I just hope that's not the case either. I know these communications can be a little hectic at some points. Whether it be between the discussions. This hit the third baseman. And it fired on over to first base. Yep, they got him. And a stolen base in the meantime.
Was able to run on contact there for Julio Rodriguez. It's a good play for Willie Castro. And it ate him up, but he was able to play it off the bounce and get that toss over and get the first out of the 8th.
Yeah, Castro had that one off his glove right up to his chest. Went up to the ground. Knew that was right there on the ground. This exited like a bullet. And he stayed with it.
That's exactly what you want to do, Alec. If you know you can't make it, just block the ball in front of you, keep it in front, keep it alive so you can make the throw over.
There you go. And now with Rodriguez at second base, out comes Teoscar Hernandez with 0 for 3 on the night. Oh, a wild ball there. As this goes to past the lower left corner, or right below it, rather. It's a 1-1 count.
That's a good block there for Vasquez. Michael A. Taylor is now the substitution in center field, and it was Joey Gallo to the left.
This was the quick fastball coming in at 96, and swings and misses there. Hernandez was 2 strikeouts and a flyout.
I like that. Power on power. They challenged Teoscar. He wasn't ready for the fastball.
A little hesitation there. This one popped on over to second base, and he's now 0 for 4. But in the meantime, it's Julio Rodriguez going to third base, and this kind of puts the Twins in a sense of a danger zone.
Mike Ford is going to be batting next. You would think, I'm not questioning Scott Servais, but you would hope that Ty France would be the next one. We will see if Mike Ford comes through here.
Now there's a pitchers meeting over the mound between the manager for the Twins, that being Rocco Baldelli, and Jordan Balazovic, the pitcher.
Maybe they're just trying to figure out right now what they want to do with Mike Ford. Again, it's the righty on lefty. It's been a lot of that between both of these teams. They're trying to max in as many lefties as they can, especially the Twins. Like we said, 7 lefties and 1 switch on that end against Castillo, who had a really great outing on that end, and then Balazovic and Maeda, who has been excellent on this side. So if you love pitching, this has been a great game for both sides.
It has been, considering the Ford is a lefty at bats. The discussion is, did they get the left-handed pitcher, either Emilio Pagan or Giovanni Morad, in this discussion? Well, this doesn't seem to be the case, despite that foul ball.
So Mike Ford, it was a slider just below the bottom part of the strike zone. He was on it a little bit early there.
This one was right outside the line. They're going to give him a 1-1 count as a result. But that could have gone either way.
Yeah, it's been a little inconsistent today and behind the plates. I've seen some of those cold strikes, as you said.
And that time, that's one that went right down through bottom left corner.
Cool.
And Balazovic makes up for that one with one going down the bottom left corner, 1-2.
Perfect pitch, Alec.
Could not have been any better than that. Right down through top right. Got him. Another outstanding pitch from Balazovic. And that gets the Mariners heading into the bottom of the 8th, needing one big stop.
Look, that's 96 on the black. That's a great pitch for Balazovic. But again, this will be the 3rd time I've said in this broadcast, you know you're up against it and you got 2 strikes on you. You got to let it fly if it's close to the zone. And I've just seen the Mariners take too many of those today.
Yeah, too many times that the Mariners are just looking at pitches that are going right down the strike zone and not even trying to swing at it. And too many times that they paid the price for doing that. So this leads to this point. They're going to get that big stop at the bottom of the 8th. You have a chance here into the 9th.
I think with Johan Duran probably lurking at the closing side for the Twins, I'm going to say the prospects for Seattle, if I have to put a percentage on it from 0 to 100, I'm going to say maybe like a 20% chance that they get it done. I know that might seem high, but I will attribute, 7 hits, a couple of walks here and there. But again, as we talk about, too many, I think for me, at least 4 or 5 times where it's just a cold strike too, where you're just standing looking at it.
And then again, nothing is impossible as it's noted, because when you remember this, the Washington Nationals came back from a 10-4 deficit 4 years ago in the 9th inning. And then they won that on that home run from Kurt Suzuki.
If you could do that with that lineup from last year, yeah, then anyone has a chance, because I can't think of too many teams that are up against it as much as the Nationals were over the last time. I know they're trying to rebuild now. I know the Tigers are bad and the Athletics are bad, but if they can do it, any of these teams can do it. Good point.
It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. So we got 2 other final score updates. The Baltimore Orioles have downed the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2, and the Kansas City Royals have shocked the Cleveland Guardians 5-3. And
that's big, obviously, because of the AL Central. Twins hold on. They can get a bigger lead as Justin Topa takes over now here for Scott Service's squad.
Justin Topa looking to hold off Minnesota here deep into this game. So he's not the closer. The closer for the Mariners is Paul Sewell. He's not getting in.
Not unless the score changes right now, as the first pitch from Topa is way outside the zone.
Yeah, that was way outside on that first pitch. And then this is followed up by one at bottom center. 1-1. No swing.
A little bit of sidearm there for Justin.
A little sidearm, yeah, for him. And this one fired on over, and somebody from the second level will just bounced off the high wall right into the stands, going back down to first level.
Ooh. Wow, that took a nasty care of him. And The young fan plays it off the hop and makes the catch. What a good job there.
Shout out to the band there. And this one popping out to first base and a little toss and go to Topa from Ty France. We'll give it go there. So they're just wait, catch on that out.
Good plays on both sides there as the Twins have one out in the bottom of the eighth. They are trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead.
Right off that sinker coming at 94. So Minnesota, they're holding on to that slim lead. One of the slimmest of margins. One of the Mariners trying to mount this comeback. Fouled on over the right side this time from Joey Gallo. 0-1.
So we'll see how Joey Gallo continues to pick up that sidearm, but you got to be careful you don't throw that inside to the left side part of the box because Gallo with that lefty, he might pull it out of here.
Yeah, this side, this was right on the edge of the strike zone, just a bit of an inch, but this might be a phantom ball in some way, sense, or form. But despite that, it's an 0-2 count, and caught him. He caught him there swinging.
Oh, that's nasty. That's 93 up to the top part of the left zone. No chance for Gallo. That's a great pitch for Topa.
And that was a nice cutter there, coming in at 92 miles an hour. Top right corner as Gallo was going for it all, but was a little off target. This one airing right behind him. And Carlos Correa back in, he's 0 for 3 onto the night, the former Houston Astro. Line out with 2 strikeouts.
He's been reaching a couple times here. We'll see if they can make an adjustment, see if the Twins can add some insurance before they go to the ninth.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting seeing this. So Correa, this was not behind him. This was rather to left field. This is a 1-1 count this time after that ball, and this one bouncing over to shortstop. And good play there from J.P. Crawford to go to Ty France, who tags him out. Correa was slowing down, knowing that he was going to be out. So the Mariners with one last chance.
It's 2 runs and 4 hits for Minnesota, 1 run and 7 hits for the Mariners. It's been a game that's been pretty breezy on both sides, as I mentioned a couple times already, but that's all right. It's a 2-1 game. It's about 2 hours into our YouTube stream on the Twitter Space side. Again, I thank Alec for joining me here on this side. We will close this out. Mariners have to get at least 1 run. They're not down by a ton here, but as we've said, in between the KC result with the Cleveland Guardians, Minnesota be able to gain another game, and they can put themselves in a situation. I'll just look at this again really quickly, where it's at 3 games right now, so they'll gain a full game. They get this win tonight.
Yeah, the Twins had to hold on to this if they were to expand on their division lead and make this to 4 games. They cannot give the Guardians any sort of breathing room.
No.
Given that where they were last year when they made it to playoffs.
Because, again, I know what it says in the AL Central, and I agree with you, but I think you're right in the sense of, the Twins and the Guardians, and they played each other a little bit so far in the season series. Tigers haven't played a lot of divisional teams yet, so they're going to be doing that later. But, yeah, you can't give any quarter there because I think the one team that can realistically catch Minnesota is Cleveland. That would be the only one I'd throw out there.
And given the state of the AL Central, it's not looking too bright there. And now coming in at the second base is Kyle Farmer, and Griffin Jacks is the new pitcher.
So Griffin Jacks, I'll get my numbers in on him as I'm just entering this commercial break on that side and getting out of it. I know I had Griffin Jacks in front of me, 28 years old. Again, he's got some really good numbers on that side. I think he's about a 2 on that end for the ERA. So they're going to give Duran the time off here. So you could probably, the way that this pitching staff is going between Griffin Jacks and Yohan Duran, take care of both of those sides. But they're going to go with Jacks right now to close it out. So 283. He's 1 out of 6 in his save opportunities, but at 0-41 in the last 23 outings. So Baldelli's just going to ride the hot hand.
And given that 61% of his pitches have come on sweepers, And Farmer coming in at second base to relieve Edward Julian.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say the sweeper is probably an extended version of the slider.
We'll see how he fares against Ty France upcoming.
So you got Ty France, so it's a good part of the order, 6, 7, and 8, and a fastball. That's as easy as you like, and a step right over and a quick one pitch out. Alex Kirilov tags first.
Was coming right in the direction of Kirilov on that pitch. Knew it was coming his way and wasted no time in getting Ty France out.
Well, no matter what happens, I am very impressed on this side, Alec. It's been a well-pitched ball game between both of these teams.
Very well pitched, no matter how you see it on which way. For as low scoring as it is, some of these low pitch games I like.
I do too. You get a chance to see what your defense and your pitching staff is made of, and that's part of baseball. It's not about just scoring 15 runs a game. That was a good fastball for Griffin Jackson, followed up with a curve at 89, and that's out. So it's 1-1 against Tom Murphy. He's been one of the better Seattle Mariner hitters today, 2 for 3.
2 for 3. He's looking to get one more run here going because he drove he was the one hitting the home run to begin with in the 5th inning for Seattle.
Long stare in from the catcher right to the umpire as Griffin Jacks just caught the bottom of the zone. Make it 1-2.
Because he was looking at that for a long time. Sometimes you can't, and you can't do that when you're trying to rally back, especially if you're down to your final 2 outs.
He bounced this pitch off the mask, off the receiving end of Murphy. Did it hit Vasquez will be on the hand? He's kind of shaking that one out. We'll get a chance to step back in as Tom Murphy again. He does have a solo shot in the 5th inning. Now's as good as time as any as Seattle's down to their final 2 outs. They're down 2-1. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. John here with Alec Nava. We're looking to close this one out. It's our first baseball game of the season, but we're going to be getting into more of these. It's been a lot of fun. So Jax will check back in. He gets a sign from Vasquez. And a swing and a miss as he gets Murphy there on a fastball way down in the zone. And Seattle is down to their last out.
The bottom 5 fastball, also known as a swinger. He was looking to go for it all there, but, well, it was off the mark by an inch or 2.
So we're going to get a chance, maybe, if you're Seattle. We'll see what the pinch hit options are. You would have Cal Raleigh, Colton Wong. You're probably not using Taylor Trammell or Sam Haggerty. Those aren't really good hitters on that side, but definitely Cal Raleigh can run into one. We will see if they're going to keep in Dylan Moore. Again, he's only batting about $120 as Jax is looking on. He's 6 pitches into his day. He's trying to close this one out. And this will bring up Cal. See if this big horse can hit a home run here. You know what he's waiting for.
Yeah, kids, if you remember about that memorable home run that he had to send the Mariners to the playoffs for the first time since 2001 and lead them to that divisional appearance against the Astros. Well, that first one was a strike looking, and, well.
Check swing strike. 0-2 pitch, and he was going for the downs way out of the zone. 92-mile-an-hour changeup. And Twins fans up on their feet. They need one more strike here. They'll gain a game and take a 5-game lead in the AL Central as the Royals took out the Guardians today. One more strike to get against Cal Raleigh. It's Griffin Jax trying to get the save. Will pitch number 9 do it? 0-2 pitch. On its way. Jax up on the hands, and Raleigh will wait on it. It's 1-2.
You can see how much he wants this one. He's focused on looking at this right pitch to see if this comes his way.
It's a beautiful night in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Target Field crowd on their feet. This one is cued and off and fall back. Thankfully, I didn't go down the first base line. If you're a Seattle fan, it's 1-2 still on Cal Raleigh.
That might have went off the catching hand of Vasquez as well.
So 5 seconds left to go on the pitch clock. Griffin Jax taking it all. This is a change-up down, 2-2.
And that he knew that wasn't the right pitch for him. So he's waiting.
Digs back in. Raleigh with a big deep breath. Griffin Jacks trying to get the final out here. 2-2. Here's a hit, and it goes right to the shortstop, Carlos Correa, and the Mariners still alive with 2 outs. They got Raleigh at first for a pinch hitter.
So the Mariners still have life here. Still at their final out. And now they're looking to get some signs of life up and coming. There may be one here of Raleigh. You know, there's no need to about how hungry he's been on getting this going. So they may still have some life here. So he's at first.
So Taylor Trammell is going to pinch run for Raleigh. He's got a lot of speed, and Colton Wong will pinch hit on the bottom 9 side. So Scott Servais using everybody that he's got left. I think the only other one that he's got there is Cooper Hummel and Sam Haggerty left on the bench. And Griffin Jacks still needs to get one more out, but Trammell does have a lot more speed. The only thing for Colton Wong, again, when I look at his numbers, he's batting 160. He was 251 last year for the 32-year-old, so his numbers are way down. This is just for the handedness side. I know he's got some doubles power, but Colton Wong is going to have to maybe channel some of his St. Louis Cardinals days at this point.
Have to consider he's a minus 1.4 wins above replacement. Ooh, that was close.
And that is a splitter down in the zone, and that's right on the foot. Almost hit Colton Wong, but it's 1-0.
And him being with 1 home run, 16 RBI on for the season, he's looking to get something here. And that side didn't get that.
That's a good changeup on the bottom part of the right box. Make it 1-1 now against Colton Wong. Against Scott Servais. Pinch hit Raleigh now. Pinch hitting Colton Wong, 8-9, before they flip back over. And a throw over, try to double check on Trammell, but he's in there. 1-1 still the count.
So the Twins are looking to end this quick. I know that they caught out Julian earlier on the night. And
Colton Wong, the right field line, just off the edge of the warning track. It's gone! He only had 1 home run on the season, but now he's got 2. It's a go-ahead shot for the Mariners, and I can't believe it.
Somewhere Cooper Hopkins must be smiling, hearing this. Now Colton Wong, with just 1 home run on the season, batting this one right above the green monster lights of Target Field, right up, gone. Good night. Well, not really. The Mariners need to hold up. So this shows their resiliency. Even though his batting numbers have been way down, he stayed focused, and as you mentioned, channeled that St. Louis Cardinals energy with him, and he's bringing out the trident.
Alec, are you freaking kidding me? What the heck just happened?
I can't believe it either. I can't believe it.
I mean, this is our first baseball game, and this is like as cool as it gets. I mean, he only had 1 home run this season. We're talking about a 150 batter. I know the career numbers are much better on that side of 251, which is decent on that side, but numbers were way down. 160, 1 bomb, 16 RBI. Service, you know, he's going to that part of the bench. It's nice when you got Raleigh there and you got Colton Wong. You have options. He used them both. He punched both the buttons because Raleigh got on base and then Wong hit it out of there. And now you go back to J.P. Crawford. And I mean, Colton Wong, he was looking on the right field side for Max Kepler to see if it would go off the wall, but it went up into the plants.
That could not have been said any better. You could not have a game any better than this.
Well, what a return it is for baseball calls. I'm glad that this is just my second game. Alec's done more games than I have this season. On that side, it's a 2-1 against Crawford, and this is toward Julian. Toss over, but unbelievably, the Mariners have taken the lead, and we might see Paul Sewald or Andres Munoz. Let's go to the bottom 9. Twins need a run.
And they they need to get this run or two so that they can hold off the Guardians and extend their division lead in the AL Central. They need this badly, but for the Mariners, they need to pull from within because they're right behind. Because the Blue Jays have the last wild card spot. They need this win badly.
Yes, they do. And the YouTube comment I know from the Twins side of OT63 says, Jack's got jacked. You're right, my friend. As we go to the bottom of the ninth here, I am completely astounded. But this has been just a really fun baseball game. As we said, it's been wonderfully pitched. And a couple times where there's been an opportunity to get a home run. I mean, think about it. Tom Murphy and Colton Wong, they've hit 2 bombs. One happened to be a 2-run variety, and it's been enough right now. Trevor Larnach with a triple, and Vasquez on the side scored a couple of runs on the 7 and 8 for Rocco Baldelli's squad, and they're going to have to come up with something, at least 1 run in the bottom of the ninth.
It'll have to. At least 1 can get them into this game, and 2 here ends it.
I'm going to throw something out here that I don't even know if I believe this myself, but I'll ask you. Do you feel like if the Mariners get this win, they stole it?
Well, I don't necessarily put it that way considering the number of hits these 2 teams have, respectively. I feel if the Twins come away with this, they'll be, this is more the one. If the Twins win this, they'll be the ones stealing victory from the jaws of defeat, in a sense, considering that they have less hits. But in a sense, the argument the Mariners stealing this victory also makes sense because either way, no matter who wins this, they're stealing one.
Yeah, I'll take the narrative on both sides. You can flip a coin. I agree with you on that one. Andres Munoz, you can bring it at $1.02 on that side. Slider, fastball, sinker. You know what you're going to get here for Munoz. You get a little bit, about 92 on the slider, about $1.02, $1.03 on the fastball. So sometimes he'll throw it, and here it is, hit it. You better get ready for it. That's what the Twins will have to be prepared for. Again, they're about number 6 in MLB ranking on the home run side, but they're last in strikeouts. You don't want to be last on that side. I'm talking about first is the most. Kyle Farmer, former Cincinnati Red, he is going to go ahead and he entered the game as a defensive replacement. Now he's got to get a big bat here as we're just entering the bottom of the ninth. Colton Wong has just given the Mariners the lead in the 98, right on the outside black, make it 0-1.
A really fast ball there from Andres Munoz. I don't think Farmer was prepared for this fastball.
No, I don't think he can be. This one is on the inside, a little bit of a slider there. Followed off down the third base line, and Farmer quickly down against it, 0-2.
So immediately putting himself in a danger zone here as the Twins are in their final 3 outs.
We'll see at the target field. They're already probably shocked. We'll see if they can stand up and cheer here. It's a slider way out of the zone, and Farmer will spit on it. Make it 1-2. Again, the Twins need at least 1 more run to extend this game into extras, and if it does go that way, the runners will start at second base.
I just quickly found this out recently because I recently got into baseball, but so far I'm finding this game exciting.
I'm right there with you. I think between all the rule changes and things like that, look, I'm happy. Granted, in the playoffs, runners don't start at second base in extras, but everything else I will take. This one is cued in between the legs, and that's a good defensive play, as this is a throw over there, and this is finished off by Moore, and this will bring up the Twins and Alex Kirilloff. Again, the AL Player of the Week, 9th inning on Sunday. He was able to get the walk-off hit there for the Twins when they swept the White Sox. He's got to get something going here again. He does have some home run power there for Alex. He's got 8 bombs and 31 RBI. He's 0 for 3 today, and that is a good-looking split at 90 that caught the bottom right of the zone.
Yeah, bottom part of the zone there on that pitch. Onto that last out there. Might have nutmegged it on the swing,
yes.
But
0-2 now as the fastball is quickly fouled back against the screen, and Munoz out front. Again, for the pitching variety he's got, even between the 100-mile-an-hour fastball and that slider, he can be very dangerous when he's out ahead. He's probably going to get the punchy, you would think, as this is Munoz. And this is reached out, but Kirilov will stay alive.
Just right off the edge of that bat on the swing. Just bounced it over for the dirt, and it went right behind.
That would have been a good catch by Murphy, nonetheless, off of a back pick, but it was fouled off 6-6 in the sixth now between Texas and Houston. As this is 100 miles an hour laced off the warning track, trying to jump as Calabero on the other end, and this is going to be an easy double. And now the Twins have a runner at second base, and Max Kepler due up.
Oh, don't go yet. We might have ourselves a nice finish to this game. As this was driven right down, the pitch was at 100 miles an hour, and Trammell fumbled that one. Had it, lost it, off his glove.
And thank you for that. It was Taylor Trammell on that side. He tried to jump for it, just went off the outside of his glove. That would have been a tremendous catch. But that is one hell of a contact there for Kirilov. That was on the outside black at 100, and he served it down the left field line.
Yeah, and just like this recent pitch from Munoz is only at 100, so back-to-back pitches of 100 miles an hour and make that free straight. He has a hell of an arm.
Yes, he does. He's definitely got one of those golden ones. As this 100 is just up toward the left part of the zone, Kepler got a couple hits. A base hit probably scores Kirilov. That's all Kepler's thinking about right now, or just getting on base. 1-1. At 100 again for the fourth straight time, fouled back.
He's displaying his cannon on full display, whether it be from that double or from the sequence.
Max Kepler 2 for 3 on the day, but he's up against it at 1-2. The Twins need a run. It's 1 out, and that's a splitter just outside the zone. Make it 2-2.
Just right outside, and good awareness by Kepler, not swinging that.
Takes a big deep breath, does Munoz, and so do I, as Kepler walks in. Good driven down the right field line. That's going to score a run and tie the game. Teoscar will get this one in. The Twins have tied it at 3.
I am getting excited to see this finish. The Twins with signs of life and with Kirilov getting right home. We'll see how this goes for the end of it. Max Kepler, deep right field, right through the warning track, speeding out Teoscar Hernandez. And the beautiful, beautiful slide from Kepler at base 2.
Well, when you're thinking about Matt Wallner, he's had a couple really good extended at-bats. We'll see if he can extend something here as the DH, because, again, you're not subbing him out. You'd have to put a pitcher in on that side. So he's 0 for 3. Kepler's at second. Another single probably wins the game here for the Twins. They thought they surrendered some momentum, and they're going to get it right back. And now they have at least the final at-bats. And if they don't score, we'll go to the 10th. And Alec will finish this one off as we're going to continue to alternate. I'm not going to hog up all the glory. We're going to keep everything going here for inning to inning. So Wallner will throw this one back in as he steps up to the plate. Munoz, it's going to count as a blown save, but all he can care about right now is at least keeping this game tied. And the Twins, they're trying to find a way to win it here. As the number 5 in the order, Wallner, will step in, and he swings and misses at a changeup way down the zone, 0-1.
That was a well-placed pitch there from Munoz to full Wallner there. Even though he's over 3 on the night, you mentioned about him having some good late inning swings to get his guys back in it. We'll see if he can do this here.
Some long at-bats to be able to extend pitching and sequences, and you said that first pitch was a good one. I agree with you, because you know he's trying to sit on that fastball, so give him a changeup. He swung out in front of the first one, took the second one for the ball. It's a 1-1 count now. Munoz delivers, and this one was in the happy zone, but Wallner again out in front of the changeup, make it 1-2.
As is the case in late in games, he was going for that one. And I said earlier, any swing is a good swing, unless if the ball is way out. This one right down the middle, I don't blame
You gotta be on time for the fastball. That's what I always think. If you have to make an adjustment to everything else, it's easier said than done. But these guys can time a bullet out of a gun. Honestly, you see that with the Kepler swing, as this is way out of the zone. Now inflated to 2-2. Willie Castro will be on deck should Woolner reach.
2-2 count after that sequence. Well, now this is when things get interesting because we have ourselves a full count as this was past the bottom left, right outside.
So Munoz, pitch number 20. Again, no double play in order here because just a runner on second. So you could walk Woolner to pitch against Willie Castro, but he's known to be clutch a little bit from the times that I've seen him. But let's see if Woolner can do it. Full count pitch, and it blew him away. 89, he tried to gear up for the fastball. He got the changeup, and it'll be up to Willie Castro now.
I know the trademark pitch for Munoz, he goes to sliders often. Not a lot of fastballs on this sequence. In fact, we haven't seen a single fastball from him on that sequence. It was basically all sliders, all throughout. He used that same kind of slider. The thing is, Warner was preparing for the fastball. And we might see something here. Is this an intentional walk?
They're going to walk Castro, and then it looks like Rocco Baldelli is going to bring up Donovan Solano. And what I know about Solano on this side, he's definitely someone that makes contact with the baseball. He's got a pretty good batting average. He's pretty good on the bat-on-ball ratio. So they're going to try to set up a force out at any base. And Solano doesn't hit it very hard. He's got 4 home runs, 22 RBI. But a 266 average for a Twins team that strikes out a lot, Solano probably won't. So pretty much a hit anywhere might score a run, and that's what Baldelli's playing for right now, bringing Solano off the bench.
He's going for the big guns here. That's what he's going for.
So Solano pitch hit, perfect pitch for Munoz. The slider right on the inside black, make it 0-1.
Inside the edge as well. Perfect pitch down for the middle.
So Munoz trying to get out of this with a runner on first and second. Twins trying to win the game. Solano now will follow it straight back. He's up against it now. It's 0-2.
Just raised it right off the tip of his bat. Might have went nearby the netting.
That's a great look by you, just off the top part of the bat for the tape. 0-2 now against Solano. He's got to dig in here. And he checks the slider, didn't offer. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he knew that was going way outside. That he didn't take any chances on swinging that.
Everybody is sitting and standing with their arms crossed. That's what I'm seeing right now, waiting for a big hit. Solano, he offers, and we go to extras, tied at 3.
Well, how about this for our first game together?
Yes.
Extra innings, right after the gates. Man, I'm pumped.
I'm pumped for this, my friend. You take it away when we get to it. This has been a lot of fun. Again, as we know, it's going to be a runner to start second base. On that side, it's going to be the last batter for both of the teams that will be the leadoff. So we will see if the Seattle Mariners score that run that's needed, or the Twins usually, which is most of the time, when you have these games when there's a runner on second, we're going to go ahead and say this. Most of the times you score at least one run. That's what most teams do. If you don't score the runner on second, or at least in your first out, get the guy over to third, it's probably a wasted at bat. I know that goes without saying, but we'll just paint the picture for everybody.
Yeah, you said it there. So I need some walks from that one considering I'm relatively new to baseball. And the Twins previously, they beat the White Sox in one of their games in the series in the 12th inning.
Yep, just yesterday they did, yes.
Just yesterday, as you mentioned. And one of the games between the Astros and Angels, that lasted until the 10th inning where the Angels won on a throwing error.
Yeah, You can see a little bit of everything here when you got runners on base and you're feeling a little bit of that pressure. You never know what's going to happen. I guess as a fan, I wasn't there at one of the Tigers games. It was my family that was there. I wasn't able to go, but it ended up being a wild pitch that went to the catcher's legs that scored the winning run. So you can kind of see everything. Looks like Julio Rodriguez will go ahead and get ready here against the new arm for the Minnesota Twins. It looks like Lopez is on the mound.
Yeah, 1 to 2 Lopez guys. Jorge Lopez, the name of Caguas, Puerto Rico.
That's a good accent by you, and the rolling of the R's and everything else. I can't do that.
Oh, you know, my family's Hispanic.
It comes natural.
You know, yep.
Sinker, slider, fastball, curveball, changeup. That's a great variety and a great percentage. So Lopez is going to give you each one of those 5 pitches, it seems like.
Each one of these ones, especially with the sinkers and sliders, he can bring in a variety of everything. That is the first pitch on that. Went top right corner, right inside, just right inside with Rodriguez batting. So Crawford is at second base. That is the rules on how they start extra innings. They have a runner at second base to start being stopped. So 0-1 the count. So this 0-1 pitch going right outside. That was a really fast sinker going at 96.
And if you're going to talk about a speed rating from 1 to 100, Crawford's probably about the 70% range. So a single here is definitely going to score him, especially on second. Julio's got to come through.
And as we're going on here, coming through, well, now he finds himself in a 2-1 count because that was a low ball right below bottom left. 2-1.
Eugenio Suarez, the power threat, is also on deck. So you got the top part of the order, the meat upcoming here against Lopez.
And this one bounced over to third base, and Crawford at second box going anywhere because he knew that was going to be a quick out.
And it's one of those things I talk about, Alec, going to the open, trying to set it up. If you can't get the runner over from the first out there, that's kind of a wasted at bat there. So Crawford's going to stay tethered at second base. It'll be up to Eugenio here.
It'll be up to him. So 1 out for Seattle on that. After that input on that ground out to third base. So Eugenio Suarez will be coming in. Oh, he had to dodge that one as this was headed his direction above the top right corner. So 1-0 count. 1 for 4 of a base hit at first.
Yeah, his base hit was the one that almost left field. He thought he had one.
He almost had that one, and this is moved towards center and immediately on the catch for the Twins. And out number 2 is Donovan Solano, the Colombian.
So Donovan Solano, I think, is going to replace Edward Julian at second base here. He's the one that made the catch, and you had the right part of the order there, but Lopez coming through right now. Needs one more out and give the Twins a chance to win this one in the bottom of the 10th.
1 out is what it takes. That between Lopez and Teoscar Hernandez. Who's at bat now? This one going right outside to the right of right center. A sinker coming in at 97. Already 7 pitches for Lopez.
Well, I'll just say it now. Teoscar Hernandez, again, I think of him on the Blue Jays, now with Seattle, 0 for 4. He's probably beyond due at this point.
At this point, you'd imagine that a run could be coming from at any point. As this the second ball, it was way out. I mean, way out. And on deck is Mike Ford. In the case, if the Mariners go to him, if Hernandez gets one here, would it be by walk or by a run? So 2-1 as this was thrown down the middle.
Alec, that's another one. You got to swing if you're Hernandez there. You're up 2-0 in the count. You know he's got to come over to the plate and throw a strike. Surprised he didn't try to take a whack at that one.
So sinker coming in at 97 that time. This one was one coming in at 98. That time it was outside. just to the left of the strike zone.
So a 3-1 count. Does Lopez play with fire here? Does he try to throw one down? Teoscar's got to be focusing in on a pitch, and if he likes it, he's got to let it fly.
Yeah, he likes this one, but this one was a delay there. Delay reaction from Hernandez right off the edge of the bats, and this one fouled out to right. Full count here for Teoscar Hernandez. 0 for 4. Gotta imagine he's due for something here. We're waiting for the full count pitch. Pitch clock at 2. At 1 now. Just got it off. And he's going to ground this one out to third base. And so the Twins have a chance to win the game here. Tie game 3-3. Mariners 9 hits. Twins 6 hits.
Well, you made contact with the ball 3 straight times if you're Seattle. That opening one with Julio Rodriguez when he grounded out from third base to first, that one's definitely going to hurt. Couldn't get J.P. Crawford over there. I'd have to say, I think the Twins, I think they come through now, and you're going to be able to call some heroics. I'm going to come out and say it.
We'll see about who is going to be the hero. The first up is the catcher, Christian Vasquez.
So you got Vasquez, Gallo, and Correa on that side. So Trevor Larnach, if I have this one correct, if he's still in there, he should be the runner at second to start for the Twins. Again, it was Larnach's triple, and then Vasquez off the inside pitched on the first base line, scored the first 2. It was a home run for Tom Murphy, and then a 2-run shot of all people, Colton Wong with the second bench press button from Scott Servais. He was able to get a home run for Colton Wong, who had just 1 on the year to tie the game up at 3. And now we are in the bottom of the 10th inning at Target Field.
It's so nice to see Colton Wong get his second home run because, man, his numbers were way down from last year. He pulled out that St. Louis magic.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Again, as we talked about this game being a well-pitched game, there's also been some clutch hits now that we can finally say. I think within the first 5 innings, we were kind of wondering if Kenta Maeda or Luis Castillo would give up much of anything. And honestly, the starters were excellent. It's up to now the rest of the bullpen here for Seattle. We'll see if it's going to be Munoz again or if they go to Seawold, their closer, in a non-save situation. It's 3 runs, 9 hits for Seattle, 3 runs, 6 hits for Minnesota. And Minnesota has a chance to walk this one off in the bottom of the 10th. Hey, how about a walk-off win in 2 straight days? It could happen.
And guess who's in for Seattle? The closer, Paul Sewell.
His whip is 0.98, so that's absolutely excellent. It's one of a closer. That's walks and hits per innings pitched. Just 162 are the lefties batting against him. It's just 2 pitches, fastball, sweeper. So sit on one if he makes a mistake, if you're a Twins fan.
Yeah, he's leaning towards that fastball more often than not at a 53% rate, but he's using a sweeper at a 47% rate. So most of the time it's either these 2 pitches. Light bunt over to first base, and that is going to be an easy out there. So JP France, but Ty France, I was confused with the pitcher from the Houston Astros, who's Ty France trying to chase out Vasquez, but elects to throw to first base.
So this is exactly what you needed to do if you're Minnesota, as far as I'm concerned. Seattle can't get the runner over. All they need now is a sacrifice fly. The catcher does his job of Christian Vasquez, bunts it on the first base line, and Ty France, he was able to get the tag over, but not before the runner gets to third. So it's Ryan Jeffers with a chance to win.
Yeah, sorry about this one, but now this has gone over. Well, they have runners at first and third. The Twins were looking to end it there on a second straight bunt. Donovan Solano was trying to make it home, but Solano, seeing that home plate was occupied by several Mariners right there, he decides, no, I'm going back to third.
So, Alec, this is bunts from catchers back-to-back. I don't think we're ever going to see this in our lifetime.
Who would have thought? Not me. So now strike one right down through bottom right from Paul Sewell, bottom right corner. So Solano's at third, Joey Gallo at first. So the Twins looking to end it here.
Double plays open.
Oh, so yeah, Correa didn't swing as it was going bottom to center. 0-2.
Double play is a possibility here for the Mariners, but it is Correa on a 0-2 count. All he needs is a fly ball.
That's all he needs here as this one flowed over to deep field. And no, it was not caught. And the Twins have won it in overtime.
10th inning, Carlos Correa magic. You kind of knew that was going to happen. You figured when the Mariners didn't get the runner over from third on that side. And now the Gatorade bath for Solano and Correa. A little bit of M&Ms as well. The Twins, they take this one 4-3 in 10 on this side. I know Cooper is listening in. We'll get his thoughts. That's a little bit of a heartbreaker, but it's a back-to-back extra inning wins. They did against the White Sox the other day. Now they do it against the Mariners. And unfortunately for me as well, you can't get an extra game that was gained. They beat the Giants and the Tigers, but now the Twins get an extra game off the lead from the Guardians and the Tigers. So I'm none too pleased, but I'm happy for you to be able to call that one.
Well, little phone from there made me happy. That being T.J. Hawkinson of the Minnesota Vikings.
We saw him out there. And Cooper, it's another one of these. It's only the second baseball game. Alec was able to join in with me and call this one, but Teoscar just missed a dive and catch, but it would have been tough anyway with a runner in third.
Boys, why do I do this to myself? I knew when I clicked listen now on the Twitter space, I wanted to hear your voices, and Alec, great job on the call there. It's always fun to get an extra innings winning call like that. But boy, oh boy, you drove the dagger right through my heart, my friend. I had to tune in 45 seconds later with the runner on third. Teoscar Hernandez can't make the play, but John and Alec, glad you guys are doing this one. I'll stay off the mic. This is your broadcast, and it's all said and done now. The Twins take the victory by a single run, and I'm over here just wiping tears away.
The one thing, honestly, because I had the call on the ninth inning side is we swapped over there, but Colton Wong had just one home run on the season, and Scott Servais down in the last couple outs, he had to go to Raleigh. He got a base hit in the first, and then Colton Wong slams one up into the plants off the part of the stanchion to tie the game for Seattle. It was a well-pitched game in between Maeda and on that side for Castillo. Somebody had to win it. But again, Carlos Correa was the one that get it done. Back-to-back walk-off hits. First time since July 1st and 2nd. But Alec, my friend, this was a lot of fun. I know I'm going to have my work cut out for me tomorrow in between the Rangers and the Astros. But you know what? It'd be fun over the next couple weeks. Again, I got Monday and Tuesday the following week because I'm going to be busy during the weekend. We could all maybe hook up for this again and call a baseball game because we're at the second half part of it. And things are going to start to get interesting for these teams at the deadline, too.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. It was mentioned briefly by one of you two guys about the idea of a three-man panel, and this is something that's I'd be open to.
Especially for baseball. I think we could all do that as far as a group, and I think that could be a lot of fun. I know that when we get to the NHL part of the regular season, we will get all that stuff out. Man, the Gatorade bath was hitting all the reporters and everybody else. So we will get this all squared away. I'm going to go ahead and get the game story and everything else all typed up and be back tomorrow, I believe, for the Astros and the Rangers. If there is any sort of situation, Cooper, if you're available, or Alec, if you're available, and you want to go back and do the Mariners game, I will be free to switch because of you. I got MLB TV, so we can figure that out. But Mondays and Tuesdays for me for the next couple weeks.
Right. Yep. I don't know what to say here, but I'm all mixed and matched with words here because of this game. But I'd be happy to do this again.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Hey, Cooper, let me ask you a question really quick before I sign off here. So in this situation, we do have the NHL beta. I think it's going to be the sign-up window at the end of the month. and then in August at the end will be the actual time of the beta. Do you have a PS5 or a Series X?
You know, I'm still a generation behind,
Okay.
so I am working with the PS4. I know last year we tried to get connected on the beta, but it looks like you're going to be at the cutting edge of technology, my friend. I'm still lagging behind.
Okay, because I know the crossplay stuff is only for the other consoles. So the game officially comes out in October. So it depends on what you do, or maybe I'll just go ahead and ship you one because you end up giving me the Matty Beniers jersey. But yeah, I'm going to try to get some stuff open for club play. So I'll let you know when the window signs up, or if in October we can play the game on the retail side, because I do want to get into it again. And when we get into our hockey coverage, that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Keep in touch with me because again, Monday and Tuesdays I'm going to do some games. I'll do again tomorrow, and then we'll get it done toward the end of the week again for next week, Monday, Tuesday, before I'll be away. But I'm looking forward to it, and we will talk to you guys again. So just be in touch with me if you want to figure out and cover a game. We'll figure one out.
Sounds good, guys. Alec, well done again on the call. John, I'm sorry I missed your ninth inning, but hey, Colton Wong's had a rough year with the M's. Nice to hear that he sent one over the fence, but all for naught. The Twins take it, and yeah, we'll be in touch, guys, and hopefully we'll cover some baseball and a little bit of Chell, and then before you know it, it's back to the ice.
Yeah, it's going to happen quickly. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for joining in, Alec. I had a great time with it. We'll definitely do this again.
Thanks, John. Good night, everyone.
Sounds good. AOT, thank you for listening, my friend. It was a lot of fun. Again, Alec, he hasn't covered a lot of baseball games, but I know he does a lot of hockey work and all that stuff. I've worked with him many times. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it was deja vu all over again with the Calder Cup Game 7. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for another baseball game, and then it'll be Monday, Tuesday again next week. Appreciate it, man. Talk to you.